Friends of the show, we have made it to another game of the year. This is our 6th one of these, which is crazy to say out loud. We have made it to my absolute favorite time of the year. But before we do it, because we've been doing this for such a short period of time, how's our audio sounding, you guys? Are we coming through?
I think it sounds okay.
You sound great.
We're all here? 4.
Yeah, we all sound great.
We all sound fantastic.
At least we all sound, and that's the important part.
We sound. Listen, Johnny and Chase are here. How are you two doing?
I'm all right.
I'm gonna throw up.
This is my favorite time of year to be on this podcast.
It's also my favorite time of year to be on this podcast. The beginning of Game of the Year. Now wait for an hour and a half, and it'll be our least favorite part of the podcast, which is the
savor
end.
this moment, Chase.
We I think are in for a real treat this year. 2022. I don't know how Game of the Year got here. I don't know how games got here, let alone this episode of the Casual Hour. But here's what we've got lined up for tonight. Here's what we have lined up for the week. We do 3 episodes for Game of the Year, 2 of those being categories. This is day 1. We're going to be talking about best non-22 game you've played this year, your favorite backlog game of Game of the Year time, best game on the go, your best new character, best casual hour clip, which is pulled from our Twitch streams, best additional content, better together, best looking, best style, and a new category this year, best new little guy. And we'll break all those down and give you an explanation when we get to them. Buckle up. You're in for a ride. It's going to be a good time. Any final thoughts before we get into the nitty gritty of this, you two?
I think best style, like just looking at the nominees, and we'll get to it. Best style is going to take us forever to get through. So let's just jump right on in.
Yeah, I will get us kicked off here. So before we move ahead, we need to talk about what kept us from moving into the future and let alone the present. We discover games all the time on this show. Sometimes they are not bleeding edge games. Sometimes they're very old games. And this year we've got a few from a few years past. Johnny,
yeah,
what have you been chewing on this year that wasn't from this year of our Lord and Savior?
Anyone who listens to the podcast will have heard me talk about a little game called Northgard.
Yes.
Which is a strategy game that I think you turned me on to, Bobby, right?
That doesn't sound like anything I would do.
And I lost.
I just turn you on.
Yeah, it's okay. That's true. But we can talk about that off air. I felt real hard for this game earlier this year. And I even bought it on my phone, put a bunch of hours into it. And I think that's my favorite non-2022 game that I played.
There was
this year.
content for that came out this year, though. Did you play any of that?
Maybe I bought whatever was available. Whatever they were selling, I bought all.
You were hooked. They got you.
Yeah.
You're a sucker, is what you're saying.
I mean, I bought it on my phone and then I played it like twice.
Johnny
on my phone.
Zuckerberg is what I call you.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chase, what concoction have you stumbled into?
Man.
Is this even a game?
Well, what do you count as a game these days?
I don't know.
This is a ROM hack. I picked a ROM hack, which is a complete conversion ROM hack, so I'm going to call it a game. I picked Pokemon Brown, which is...
That's too early in the show for your weird rules. I'm telling you right now.
This is an individual category. There are no rules. We can pick whatever we want. Pokemon Brown is a pretty famous early ROM hack of a Pokemon game. It's also a ROM hack of Pokemon Red, I believe. Which I didn't know.
Back when Pokemon was good.
Exactly.
Back when Pokemon was good.
But that's why I wanted to play this game. Is I've played a lot of ROM hacks of like the GBA games, whether it's hacks of Ruby or hacks of Fire Red or any of those that generation of stuff. People love doing the GBA because honestly, GBA kind of ruled. GBA Pokemon was pretty darn good.
Real good.
But you don't see a ton of ROM hacks of the first generation of Pokemon games these days anyway. So I thought it would be cool to go back and see one of those. Pokemon Brown is a really famous early one that kind of taught people that, oh, hey, you can do ROM hacks of Pokemon that aren't just little mods here or there. This person did a complete conversion. It's a whole new area. It's a bunch of new gyms. It has this giant final dungeon that you can go through that's 100 floors, which I did not do, but I did everything else in that game, and I thought it was really cool. There's a sequel to it that is made in Fire Red, that has the GBA engine to it, and I'd like to try out more of those. I still think Pokemon ROM hacks are really cool, and I'd say it's the best Pokemon game I played this year.
It's a low bar, but nice job.
It kind
You
of a low
cleared
bar
it.
this year,
And
but I
as
thought it was really cool.
Chase did call it out. We are going to be going into more contentious categories later on. These are just individual ones. We like to give each other shit, but this is really like whatever you want to bring, you bring. And so we like to ease into, we call this a little foreplay, folks, before you get too
and
too
I really
cozy.
like this category too. We've talked this year and years past about the podcaster's dilemma of always feeling like you have to play new stuff. So to be able to play something old and know, well, I don't know, maybe it'll show up in a game of the year thing. I can kind of have
this is the participation reward for us millennials.
Exactly.
All those hours I spent on Northgard were totally worth it for this moment.
Yes, totally.
They all led up to here.
You deserved it.
In typical Bobby fashion, I picked Slime Rancher because I'm a sicko and I like things like that. But not only did I pick this, I picked it a month before Slime Rancher 2 hit early access, and I fell
a real delinquent.
It's a very weird 2022 for you in that you can't really put Slime Rancher on any of these things because it's too old, and you also can't really put Slime Rancher 2 on any of these things because it's not finished yet.
I can't be in the present.
You also pulled a Subnautica.
I'm from dude.
It's true. This is definitely a Subnautica.
If I'm anything, I am consistently bad. But Slime Rancher is a very, very good video game, and I will call out Slime Rancher numbers went through the roof at the time Slime Rancher 2 came out as well. People got really excited about that, and that is a complete game. So Slime Rancher 2 is pretty complete as well, but Slime Rancher is very special, and things have gotten better in some ways since the pandemic and like today, and some things are still pretty shitty, and this is a great escape and forget about life and bury your head in the sands and just get very cozy. So Slime Rancher is very wholesome, very good,
very cozy,
and holds up very well this year. So that's what kept me. Yeah, congratulations. You are still good games in this year. We're gonna get into the backlog, the other things that keep us from getting too crazy.
That's the thing. We didn't play any of these games this year, or at least not enough of them.
Yeah. So I'll kick us off here. Bear and Breakfast came out. That is a fantastic video game. I think that there was just a lot that came out at the time of that, and this was a game that, like when we had that cushion where like Animal Crossing was the only thing to do because it felt right and it's safe, and Bear and Breakfast scratches that nerve, but there was a lot of other things happening around it that I thought was equally, if not more so, interesting. It's a very competent game. It was at the time, I'll tell you what really put it on my backlog was this. At the time it came out, it was supposed to launch on Switch and a few other things with full controller support. That did not happen. It was only playable on PC at that time with a mouse and keyboard, which is a fine way to play it. But I had really thought that I'd be playing this a lot on my Steam Deck or my Switch and be able to put a little bit more time into it. They did get to that. It did launch on all those platforms and it works great. It just happened to be after I kind of moved on, and I kept it on the shelf. I looked at it. I picked it up every now and again, looked at it. I'm like, I really like you. I want to play more of you. And maybe someday I will. But Bear and Breakfast
we did do a quick look of it, right? I mean,
we did. Yeah.
I think
and
we
a
did
stream.
Was it the demo? Was it like the Steam or
no
demo? Or was it
no demo,
game?
just full game. Yep.
Okay.
Full game. Cool. And I did a stream. I think a solo stream one night of it. I really dig it. It's a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm. I think there were a lot of games like that as well that came out around then and just this year in general that you also were playing.
Yep.
And I could see it being difficult to justify playing another one of those, even if it looked cool when you were already.
That's the other piece of it. It's not like it was unique in the sense of like the game that you might be talking about, but it definitely was of that genre, which I love. It's one of my favorites. So all that being said, Bear and Breakfast is worth checking out. I hope to pick that up and play more of it. I ended up getting like 3 properties, and I think you can get quite a bit more. So really cool game.
Nice. This is a tough one for me, and it's always a tough one for me because I end up not playing a lot of games that I want to play.
Yeah.
But this could have gone to Coromon. This could have gone to Pentiment if I didn't play like 3 hours of it today to cram for this very podcast. Yep. Could have gone to a lot of things. Heartsbreak Shipbreaker is a game that I also barely touched, but think that game looks awesome and rules. But I ended up going with Immortality, which is a game that is in that series of Her Story, and I can't remember.
It looks really cool too.
It looks really cool. People have seemed to super dig it. It's been getting a ton of awards and things this year, and it's one that I've also pretty consciously stayed away from hearing anything about. And I'm glad I'm still going to be able to go into that game fresh. And I think that's a game that maybe in January, maybe in February, that I might check out and really dig. But I really loved Her Story, and I didn't play the other ones. I didn't play Telling Lies, I think is one of the other games. There might even be another one in there. But game looked rad, and I want to try it. I just didn't this year.
Yeah, I think I've got it downloaded on my iPad. I have it on my PC as well. And I'm going to put some time in because I think it's a relatively short game as well. So that might be a nice next few weeks after we wrap things up with the year.
Yeah, and if it's anything like Her Story, it's kind of you play until you are satisfied with your answer, your personal answer of what actually happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway, that's me.
Johnny, what do you got?
So it was a tough one for me too, because there was a lot of stuff that I didn't get to play enough or at all. But I think from the 10 minutes or so I spent with it, I feel like Midnight Suns is one that probably would have wound up on my list. And I will be picking it up after Christmas, I think, because I usually get some Steam gift cards for Christmas, so I'll be picking that one up for myself.
It's a good game, Johnny.
I've heard.
I was again cramming for Game of the Year time last night and today, and last night I started playing some Midnight Suns. I just wanted to get a little bit into it, and then I look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. and I went, oh,
how did that happen?
I guess I kind of dig some of the things in this game.
Yeah.
I still have some problems with it. We'll probably touch on that and some other times. But I think that's a cool one.
I think you and I might have similar problems, if I had to guess. And
Immortality is short. It's 6 to 16 hours, depending on your playstyle.
So, excuse me, 6 to 16?
You know,
the main story 6, completionist is 16.
Okay.
So. Okay.
All right.
Fair.
Anyway.
So that's going to get us into our first category.
Yeah.
But
the knives come out.
But you two might not know this. We have some sponsorships lined up tonight for some of these categories.
Okay.
And we've hit it big. And this particular category that we're going to be going into is called Best Game on the Go, and it's been sponsored by BCE. Anybody know what that is?
What does that stand for, Bobby?
Big Chase Energy, bitches. This is for the gamer on the go of our show.
I think.
Chase, would you like to lead your own category, or would you like to just bask in its glory?
I guess this feels a little weird because it's not. I mean, we've had categories sponsored by me in the past of like the most weeby game on the list.
But we're all weebs now. I mean, so
true. We've all embraced the lifestyle. But I mean, this one is the best game on the go because I have my podcast, Gamers on the Go. Do I have that podcast anymore? I don't know. I haven't recorded an episode for a while, so
Chase has a different podcast for every day of the week.
I mean, we also don't make handheld video games anymore.
What is a handheld game?
Good point.
If anything but a memory and a feeling that we've been chasing.
But that's the problem, is that everything is a handheld game and everything is not a handheld game
these
days. We have Steam Decks, we have analog pockets, we have ways of playing basically every video game we want on the go.
Whenever we want.
So it's difficult. So this category, I like the spirit of this category. It is what game feels like a handheld game and is the best of the ones from 2022. Like what feels good to play in handheld mode. I brought this
and
up.
Some of these might be an actual like mobile port or a handheld game, but they might not all be one that we brought over.
Totally. Like the thing I brought up to Johnny, which is like, yeah, you can play Elden Ring on a Steam Deck, but would you want to?
And Johnny's
like, well, it runs okay on it. And I'm like, yes, I understand. I get that. I know you can do it. Just because you can.
Friend of the show, Jeff Grubb, completed Elden Ring.
Jeff Grubb is an insane person.
I mean, that's fair.
We love him.
I'll stand behind that.
I put more than a handful of hours into Elden Ring on my Steam Deck. But if you notice, I didn't put it on the list.
Here's a great. Yes. Can I just? I'll throw this in there. Johnny sent me a text. He said, "Hey, I think it was it Neil that had said Joel and Ellie will soon be on the Steam Deck or something like that because the Last of Us remaster of the remake or whatever it is coming out on PC in March or sooner. I don't know. I told Johnny." I think I said this. If I didn't, I at least was thinking it. I don't think that's how I want to play that game if I'm playing a remaster of it.
No.
And even though I can, that's not where I want to play a game like that.
Totally.
It's like that big Witcher update coming out in a couple days. Like,
yeah.
It's deck verified, but that's not why I'm going back to that game.
You could play The Witcher 3 on the Switch, which is obviously the best way to play it. In handheld mode, of course. If either one of you had put The Last of Us on this nomination list, I would have quit this podcast. Which, too bad for you. You could have had me gone.
Damn it. Is it too late?
Fuck.
It's too late now. They've been locked in. Let me go down these nominees. 20 Minutes Till Dawn, A Joke Worth 99 Cents, Aperture Desk Job, Apico, Coromon, Diablo Immortal, Jack Move, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Marvel Snap, Kaiju Attack, Papers, Please, Point P, Railbound, Shovel Knight Dig, Symphony of War, The Nephilim Saga, The Outbound Ghost, Tinykin, Vampire Survivors, and Yars Recharged.
For anybody who's not picking up or just curious, all of these are not ranked in any order. Actually, they're all done alphabetically. So when we get into these, we have not made any predetermined, and you'll see us like striking things out, and we'll have a discussion and bold out what it is, and we'll send stuff out afterwards. So
my first question here is, what is Jack Move?
Yeah, what is that?
I cannot remember
Jack,
what
Jack Move is a game that both of you should eventually put on maybe a backlog for another year, but it's a really cool cyber deck turn-based game. So like you're a girl named
on the Switch.
It is on the Switch. I've been playing it on the Steam Deck, and this came out around the time that I went to Canada, and I was playing this on the flight there. It's really cool how you're breaking moves and enhancing how you're hacking into a network and doing some stuff. It's got a really cool perspective on how you are battling like a turn-based, the actual like.
Oh, it kind of looks like what's the other game we played that had that kind of note high? Everhood. It has that Everhood kind of look to it.
A little bit.
I think that you would really dig the writing on it, Chase. I think you would dig the combat also. If it goes on sale or something, you should check it out for sure. But it just felt, based off of like being turn-based pixel graphics, it felt like a game that would have been like on a Game Boy, Game Gear at one point in time. It just felt like a better fit. And I really only played it on the go based off when I was traveling when it came out. So yeah, Jack Move.
Okay. Similar. Also, I had, or maybe still have this downloaded to my phone, but can you go over what Kaiju Attack is, please?
Yeah,
Bobby?
Kaiju Attack is, it's not quite like a pick 3, but you are doing it. It's got such a slick, like two-tone style to it.
Oh, this game.
Yeah. And you are fighting different kaiju, and you are trying to level up. So like if you have a jet, you need to put 3 jets in a row, and then they can upgrade to like a second tier jet, and you can keep doing that. And they have different attack abilities, and you're trying to wear down the kaiju that you're fighting using things and not destroy buildings and lose casualties, civilians. It's really slick. I think that the style probably goes further than the gameplay for me on this one. There's other games out there, technically that I think do a better job, but this sure is a looker, and it's got just a vibe to it that I think carries any shortcomings or misses it might have in comparison to some other not competitors, but other games like it.
Yeah, I do like the look a lot. I'll tell you, I just watched like a 1 minute trailer of it, and even in motion, I still have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sure with the tutorial it'd be just fine, but yeah, it does have like that match 3 look to it.
Yep.
Where like, hey, on the bottom half of the screen is where your play board is, and then the top is where your monster is that you're fighting with its health bar and things like that. It's cool. It's a cool look. I know you suggested this to me at one point, and I downloaded it, but I didn't play it. That's what I do. Okay. I think I am at least aware of the other games on this list. Does anybody else have anything that they've never heard of before that we should talk about?
I put a lot on here. This has been the year of the Steam Deck, and so I've been really trying to put it through its paces. So I did play quite a bit on the go this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of nominees. I think this is probably a time where we nominate things that stay on a list instead of cutting down from
Point P,
the big list. Point
so,
P. Johnny, do you not remember Point P?
I do now.
Jeff Keighley's Netflix Point P stream,
where
they said Point P 1 billion times.
Here's what I'll say. There's a few games on here that are actual like mobile games that I feel can probably go. That's my 2 cents. Just because
Point P's not one of those, right?
I mean, Point P I love. I think Point P is great. It's designed for that though. So in the spirit of what,
isn't it by the maker of Downwell?
It is the same dude. It's not on anything else, so like you only can play on the go. So like it's a very
and
true
only with a Netflix subscription too.
Correct.
Which was the worst time for me to stop having Netflix. Is the time that a pretty cool exclusive game comes to iOS that you can only play if you have a Netflix account.
I'll
tell you that.
It's really good, Johnny.
I'm downloading it right now.
Like, honestly, I'm
so
kind
good.
of okay. I'm more than kind of okay putting it in a finalist tier.
Okay. You just want to put like an asterisk or something by it for the time being? We can come back to it.
I can do that.
Point P is very good. I'm trying to think if there's anything you can get rid of, like things that I don't think will make it.
Lego Star Wars?
Yeah, Lego Star Wars can go.
Okay.
I played that on the Switch because Sarah and I were going to play it together, and
that's why you hate it.
That's why I hate it. I think it did fine. It's a fine game. It does great there. You can get rid of Kaiju. I don't think that it being portable serves it any better purpose, and it certainly feels that way.
Why is Shovel Knight Dig on this list?
Because Shovel Knight Dig launched on Apple Arcade.
No, I don't. I understand that it's a game that feels like it's a handheld game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it's very good.
Well, I guess you're saying best game on the go. Then, like, are we just saying this is the best game or the game that feels the best on the go? Because those are two different conversations.
I would say that
it might not have. It doesn't have to be the best game, but it should feel the best in this category.
I would say a prerequisite to get on this list is that it feels good to play on the go. And of those, this is the best game from that list.
So it being a bad game does not take it off of this list, in my opinion, but there's other games on here that I think meet the criteria better than what this one does. Because I do enjoy this game, but I don't think being bad or good should determine like this particular category.
Wait a minute. We're not picking the best game? What?
Because you're doing two things here. You're talking about a game that feels good to be playing in handheld or on the go, and then you're saying, well, this game shouldn't be on this list because it's not good. And those are two different conversations. This game feels good to play on the go. It was designed for a mobile phone.
I mean, that's what we do with every category. Like you could try to put Kratos on best new character. He doesn't fit the criteria, but then whether or not he's on the list, we're still trying to pick the best of the new characters here.
Then you're saying that it's like, okay, well, they're a bad character, so they shouldn't be on this list.
I agree. I don't think we should put any bad characters on the best new character list. I could name off a ton of people that are in the new Pokemon game.
I'm fine removing the game.
But
I think that the reasoning for you immediately was the wrong reasoning. There's other games on here that are better at the actual
I will adjust what I was saying. I was being intentionally shitty because I think that game is not that fun. Not that it doesn't deserve a nomination, but that it absolutely does not deserve to stay.
Because there's games on here that won't be anywhere near my top 10. They won't even be near like best moment. But there's games that I think on a technicality hey, I played this game on the go. It was really cool. It was an Apple Arcade launch. Like, I think it fits this very well.
If you liked Shovel Knight Dig, I think it's fine to be nominated on this list. I did not like it. I remember
we can
Johnny
get rid of
saying
it.
It was kind of hard.
Yeah. You can totally get rid of it.
It's quite hard. Yeah.
I think it's kind of cheap in some of its hardness as well, where it does some things that feels bad.
Well, there's definitely like places to talk about that and not this category.
Okay.
In my opinion.
But
Like
we are cutting it from.
Oh yeah,
contention.
That's totally cool. I just wanted to make sure I was understanding how we were approaching it is all. Because like I agree, far better things on here. I also agree, game could be better. Is a little bit tough, not its full potential. But I think for this category, hell yeah, works really well.
Yep. I mean, anything that somebody wants to say, this should instead of cutting things, anything that we feel like
Symphony
hey,
of War, Symphony of War. I want that on here for sure.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Vampire Survivors.
I'm more than fine with that.
I would also
Marvel Snap.
Yeah, I think Marvel Snap.
Yeah,
those are the two I'm willing to go to bat for.
Okay.
I never played Aperture Desk Job, but I'm gonna lean on because it's made for that system. So like
exclusively, yep.
I think
cool.
it showcases it.
Is it more of like a tech demo than anything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a flashy, neat tech demo that has J.K. Simmons in it. Which is great.
Yeah.
You knew the assignment. You did the assignment. I don't think it means it's the best game on the go from this year.
There's only two other ones on here that I would say like, hey, could we keep them on a little bit longer? And I would ask that we keep. Definitely would like to keep Tinykin on this conversation.
Yes.
And I would like to keep. Where was the other one at on here? Koromon, please. Both of those.
I think that's fair. You didn't want to advocate for 20 Minutes Till Dawn? I know you really liked that one, especially when Johnny and I are over here as the Vampire Survivors.
Here's the thing, guys. Club. I really respect the hell out of Vampire Survivors. I like the format of that game a whole lot, and I'll probably go back to it in a few weeks. I don't think any of the mimics that came out this year touched the sun nearly as much as that one did. So anytime that you two are advocating for Vampire Survivors against a Vampire Survivors like, it's just not worth the effort on my part, in my opinion. Like that game's very, very
I
good.
think that's fair. I mean,
I like it.
I had a really good time with 20 Minutes Till Dawn.
Oh, I love that game. I love that game. It's really cool.
I still prefer Vampire Survivors, but I think that's a really cool game, and certainly looks cooler than Vampire Survivors. I like the Castlevania retro look that Vampire Survivors is going for, but 20 Minutes Till Dawn has a look, which is I mean, we'll talk about games that have a look later. But okay, I'll cross that one off.
Okay, you guys are still going through. I was gonna say I could talk a little bit about. You can cross off Outbound Ghost. It felt
is there
good on
anything else here that we feel like we need to talk about? The ones that are asterisked right now are Koromon, Marvel Snap, Point P, Symphony of War, Tinykin, and Vampire Survivors.
I don't feel strong about anything that we don't have an asterisk by right now.
Neither do I.
I mean, I really liked A Joke Worth 99 Cents. I think it is the most fun I've had on my play date. We'll talk about that another time. But I thought that was pretty fun. It is extremely one note, but that is literally the joke, is that it is one note. And then I also liked Yar's Recharge. I guess I gotta do like a disclaimer that I helped on some of the advertising to that game. Yeah. But and I got a free copy of it because of that. I probably would not have, I know. I probably would not have played it if I hadn't gotten that free copy. But it is fun. I had never played the original Yar's Revenge. I haven't played many 2600 games, but I thought it was a pretty cool arcadey style of shooter with some bullet hell elements to it. I liked the way they added the power-ups. I don't think it necessarily sticks on the list with all the other stuff that's on here, but I did find that game to be kind of fun. And I'm an Atari shell, apparently.
Diablo Immortal, look, that's kind of a tongue-in-cheek. I love that game. I beat that game. I put a lot of time into that game. It was so god-awful on
money
PC.
Into that game?
Not really. I think I put maybe $25 in, and that's
good.
That game is dog shit, whatever the kids are saying these days on PC. It's absolutely terrible. It needs to be played on the go.
And that sucks because that felt like the thing people wanted. Like, oh, we didn't want the mobile Diablo.
Oh yeah,
news. Diablo 4 is coming out early next year,
and it looks really good.
I do want to just say one thing. I was incredible. This is not the place for it. We have another category for this, but I was incredibly disappointed with Railbound. As much as I love Golf Peaks and love the stuff that developer has done, Railbound just wasn't it. It was the logic to it was much more difficult and not in a way that I found fun to try to untangle.
We can get rid of it.
Click with me. I played a lot of it, but it did not click with me at all, and I was hating most of my time with it.
I played it on the go more than I played on my computer, and that's just because I got to test it that way, and I should disclose that. But that has no bearing on. I think what you're saying is fair, and I'll say the thing. Papers.
I played it on iPad, so I also played it on the go, but I just had a pretty terrible time, and that hurt me deeply because of how much I love Golf Peaks.
Papers, Please is a really cool port. They did a good job bringing that really bad time to a mobile platform. So if you're feeling
bad time you can have,
it's depressing on the go just as much as it is at home.
Yeah, game's a bummer.
But they did a good job of making that one-handed and being able to use and interact with all the little gimmicks you have there, which is really cool. That would be a perfect bus ride game. It would be a perfect pull out of pocket, deny some people their citizenship, and move back about your day.
More depressed on your way to the office.
So I think it's cool that it's there, especially after how long it had been out for. I know that was a big deal for it to come out this year, but I don't think it stands for me.
All right, guys. It sounds like we're fine with this list that we have here. We need to pick one out of it. So we've got Coromon, Marvel Snap, Toynpee, Symphony of War: The Nephilim Saga, Tinykin, and Vampire Survivors. Who wants to make an argument on why something should win or why one of these should go away?
I'm going to go first, if that's okay. Yes. I've got 3 games that I'll focus on for this conversation. Not only did I play Tinykin from start to finish on my Steam Deck, I played Tinykin start to finish via the cloud with Game Pass on my device. Like, that was one of the first times that I have done anything like that, where it was start to finish. Well, I did Boyfriend Dungeon. I'm sorry. I take that back. I played a lot of that on the phone. Having said that, it was a really cool experience to play that game. That game to me felt very intimate to be handheld. I thought that was a really cool experience to have on the go. I do feel very strongly about my time with Symphony of the War. Like, that's a game that I've got double digit and then some hours in. Like, and I played 95% of that game on my Steam Deck, and that I would argue in this spirit felt like it deserved to be. It was a top-down grid, like old school Fire Emblem. Like, that is a handheld game. That is
the place to play that game.
100%.
I didn't put as nearly as much time into it as you did, but like when I was playing it, it was on my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And that it felt like when I played old Fire Emblem games on my pocket. Like, it's like this is where this is designed to be played. Like, obviously you can play it just on your regular PC, but it felt the best when I was playing it on my deck.
But there's, I mean, like I did this. I could say the same thing about Coromon. Like, that feels very much to like the older days of Pokemon, and it felt like playing that anywhere else but my Steam Deck did not. It just felt like I was sinning. Yeah. I was a sinner at that point in time. And so that is also like, I don't know how much of that is like nostalgia versus technicality here for me. Is just like, this is where I feel like I should be playing this game. But I think that Coromon, and if I had to get rid of it, like, Tinykin's a looker, and seeing that game run in 4K as well, like on a bigger screen, is really powerful for that one.
That's where I played it. It was on my desktop.
I mean, it's gorgeous. It's got beautiful art. And sometimes the details of that world can be a little bit more like, it's already a miniature world, so exploring that on a bigger screen does help with some of that stuff. But I think I know Chase played that on the Switch. It's on the Switch. It does a great job there. I enjoyed my time with it thoroughly playing it that way. So I'm really those three. I'm torn.
Yeah, I'd say counterpoint to that. Tinykin is the best game on this list of finalists by a mile for me.
Well, again, I appreciate that perspective.
I didn't play Cormon, and I know that I would like it. But if I'm advocating for anything here, it would be man. I forgot Vampire Survivors is also on this list. Shit. Like those are the two I care about the most. I like the idea of Symphony of War. I think there were some parts of it that felt a little fiddly to me. The squad stuff seems really cool, and I just could never wrap my head around how to make an actual unit that is strong, because every unit can have basically every single thing in it, which just made it feel not unbalanced, but like this weird mashing of I'm just going to throw as many units as I can into this group instead of I'm going to throw the correct kinds of units into this group, which as much as I was really digging a lot of the other parts of the game, that kind of killed a lot of the fun for me. And I know that's a little bit on me, that there is strategy in that game that if I dug deeper, I would have found that, but I didn't. I just didn't find it.
I don't think that in the conversation of good versus bad game or technicalities in that sense, but I think which game felt better to play in handheld is really what we're getting down to at this point for me. That's how I'm approaching this category.
Okay, I guess I still don't see that as the category.
That's the category. Like, we've got categories for what you're talking about.
These games are in the category, but it's not why we're picking the one that wins. The game that wins should be the best game.
That's not the rule here. That's not the category, though. Like, the things that you're talking about would be more like I wish I liked it more.
By my energy.
That's fine. I mean, clearly it is right now, but I would say that when we talk about games that, like what you said at the beginning, and we can rewind it, is games that feel better. Like, you wouldn't play Elden Ring this way. Elden Ring, Johnny would say, is better than anything on this list, and it can be played on the go.
Right. So that's why it's not eligible for the category. If it was eligible for the category, we could have a conversation of why it's better than these other games. But
I mean, technically, it is eligible.
Meet a certain amount of criteria.
That game meets it.
It doesn't, though. We just talked about the criteria is that it has to feel good to play in handheld mode to get on the category.
And Johnny would say it does. From those. I'm just saying that, like, when we start to talk about, you haven't played it.
No. He doesn't say that. Johnny, correct? You would not say that it is a good handheld game. You love that game. It's a great game, but you do not love that as a handheld game.
No. It is adequate in playing handheld.
So my point being, it wouldn't be here because it's not technically great to play that way. But if you're getting down to, I want Tinykin to be here because that's my favorite game, that defeats the purpose of this category. That's not what this is. It's not my favorite game.
I disagree with that, but that's fine. We can go with your idea of the category.
I thought that's what we'd established at the beginning of it, was like, these are the game feel. Like, this is like going back to what is a handheld. There is no handheld, like games that obviously should be better in that. But if we want to get down to like, hey, this is a game that you can play on the go that is my favorite or plays better than the other ones, or is that's fine.
I guess I don't know how you would define what the best feel on a handheld game is then. What's your advocacy for any one of these games? Like Marvel Snap, yeah, it plays well on an iPad because it was built for an iPad. It
doesn't work on PC really.
You can get it on Steam as well, and it does.
Sure, and it's got, but that's not what we're talking about. Apparently we're talking about is this the best game that plays the best on a handheld? So how it feels on a PC shouldn't matter anymore.
That's the point, though. Like, that's why that game works better here than it does on PC. Like, in my opinion.
Okay, so what wins?
I don't know. Like, that's what we're trying to discuss. That's what this is about here. But I feel like there's been a curveball thrown into this, is all I'm trying to get at. And we don't have to spend a lot of time here. We got plenty to argue about tonight.
We do. Because I also feel like there's been a curveball, and I see that this is an impasse. But to move us on, we need
it's your category. I will default to your blessing on it. How about that? If you want to go over like, this is the best game, that's cool too. Like, there's bigger hills for me to die on tonight than this one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily have a specific dog in this fight.
Vampire Survivors wins. Yes.
You know, I would agree with that. I think that game feels great. I think for both ways that we talk about this category, it feels great on a handheld. It feels fantastic on a Steam Deck, which is where I played almost all of it.
Good on the phone.
And I never played the phone version. The phone version just came out, right? That was a part of the Game Awards thing.
Yep.
I'm sure it plays fine there. Probably not as much precision as
not as good as with the joystick.
Sure.
It works.
Which I'm sure also doesn't feel as precise as with a mouse and keyboard. But I still had zero trouble playing that game. It is a game you really only need to play with one hand. I mean, It helps to have a second so you can choose the thing that to choose the power up. But the game freezes when you're ready for that, so you don't have to actually do that. I think it feels great, and I think it's one of the most fun games on this list of our finalists. So if that's the one we're happy with, I know Bobby did not click with that game, so if you want to make an argument against, you're welcome to, but I feel great about it.
I mean, there's a spot in time where I get to make an argument against Vampire Survivor. It's not on the handheld portion of that game. I think it's a very fine mobile port from what I've seen. It has the phone version now, so based off of the criteria we're going with here, I'm cool with it.
All right. Congratulations, Vampire Survivors.
There will be opportunities to shit on Vampire Survivors later on.
Of that, I'm sure.
Yes, of anything. So we're going to get into another category here. This one's a little bit easier to read between the lines on. This is just the best new character. We've got quite a few to get through, not nearly as many handheld. But on this one here, we are talking about new characters to the game that we are talking through. God of War, Grounded, Heartspace, Horizon. Johnny, you want to run down this list?
Yeah.
Cool.
We have Thor and Odin from God of War Ragnarok, which, yes, I know technically are not new characters, but they are new to this game.
They're some of the oldest characters in all of time. I understand what you mean.
We have Burgle from Grounded, Weaver from Heartspace Shipbreaker. From Horizon Forbidden West, we have Katalo, Alva, and Zoe. From Norco, we have LeBlanc, Million, the Garrets, and Pawpaw. From Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Penny. From Ollie World, we have Dad. From Ooblets, we have Outgrid. Also from Ooblets, we have Mayor Tenstall. From Stray, we have B12, Momo, and Doc. And from Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga, Diana.
Is Diana the big lady?
She's the very big lady,
okay.
And
I'm pro Diana. Diana was good.
Not only is Diana the big lady, Chase,
she gets bigger.
She gets like
she gets real
she's
big.
like 4 to 5 people taller than anybody else on the field. And
she's fantastic.
She stops like, so she's a paladin, and she just like all of her animations, she just stops using anything besides her feet. And she's just kicking people. And because she's so big, she has the advantage that she can attack against walls and like at range. I mean, it's comical. Like when she went through this big transformation, I'm like, oh, cool, she's getting an upgrade, which people do in the game. And it loaded into the screen. I'm like, did something bugged? Like, I seriously thought it was busted. No, she's just a big lady.
Here's the question, Bobby, before I automatically say she's a finalist. How is she in the story? I know from the bit that I played, she's like a really dedicated, faith-based character who's just trying to do the right thing. She's got some special blood that your character also kind of has.
She's one of the Nephilims. It's who I romanced in the story, by the way.
Damn right you did.
I romanced the big lady in the story.
Big woman. Who's the big woman story?
All right, I'm putting an asterisk. Diana is a finalist.
I'm going to go ahead and just, since we did that, I think we can get rid of both of the characters from Ooblets. They're a ton of fun. Outgrid is like the real granola. She runs the like treehouse clubhouse. And then Mayor Tenstall is the mayor. She's the one that sends all the missions to you. She's got like that weird top hat on. Every character in Ooblets I enjoyed talking to. Those two I just think have a neat aesthetic and design. The Ooblets are the real stars for me, not the characters necessarily, but wanted to give them some recognition.
I think that's fair. We have so here's the easiest thing for me to always think of when we do this category is we have multiple characters from the same game here. I think the easiest thing to do here is say what's the best character from each of these individual games before we talk about which one's the best overall.
Yeah, from God of War, my vote is Odin. I think that Thor's great, but
they're great.
Odin
both of them are great.
Just chews up the fucking scenery whenever
it's Toby from the West Wing. God damn it!
Yeah,
Richard Schiff. That's what he does.
From Horizon, I would say Katalo is the strongest.
Agreed.
Okay. I don't know if I actually want the answer to this, but you know what? We'll get into who the hell Katalo is further down. I'm sure.
You don't even have to ask. Just mark the right person on the next category here. For Norco,
it's LeBlanc, right?
With a bullet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Million is pretty cool as
the Million a lot.
I mean, I guess we should also say there's going to be some spoilers.
Oh
here.
Yeah. This is game of the year time.
In this category, especially, there's probably going to be more spoilers when we get to day 2, when we get to like best moments and things like that. But there's going to be spoilers here. If you haven't played the games that are on this list, maybe this is the time for you to jump out. We understand, totally fine.
Yeah.
Go and play these games and come back. But yeah, I really like Million as the robot that turns on you.
Very cool design too.
Yeah, totally. Like the Starface stuff is pretty cool. But the moment she turns on you is the scariest part of that game, bar none. And I was pretty. I told you, Bobby, I wanted to play this game in the dark because it just kind of had that vibe. And then it briefly turns into a horror game, and I go, "Oh fuck, I don't want this. I signed up for the wrong fucking thing."
That and when Pawpaw, when you meet him by the riverbank, the camera just moves on, and he's just like this close to the screen, staring at you. I'm like, Pawpaw, get the fuck out of here, man.
That was, you know what? That was a good jump scare. Like you're doing the AR stuff.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this weird sermon from this dude, and then it's just creepy man goes, "Hey, what's up?"
So
like,
weird.
What the fuck are you doing?
I hated that.
Here's the terrible thing. I looked away
when he did that,
check something else while the sermon stuff was happening, and I turned back and I'm like, "Oh fuck, what are you doing?"
Yeah, dude, that's the whole thing.
Where'd you come from?
That's perfect. God, that's perfect. But yeah, LeBlanc wins it.
Great. I mean, without we don't need to ruin his moment of the year yet, because I know that'll come up as well later.
Which one?
Well, fair enough. But I think LeBlanc is the best character from Norco for sure.
I would say you can get rid of Dad from Ollie Ollie World. He's so good.
Great.
Dad's so good in that game.
He seems pretty good from the bit that we saw in the clip.
He's very good. All right, Johnny.
Character you like?
I loved. God, I think B12. I have an affection for it, but Momo. Like, I'm gonna cut Momo, and I'll talk about.
Ask, who are all these? Who are all these people? Are these all people? Is one of them the cat?
Well.
No. B12 is your companion.
Yeah, that's the little. Okay. It looks like the ghost from Destiny that hangs out with you.
It's a little robot.
And then Momo and Doc. So Momo is one of the outsiders. There's 4 of them that you have to like bring back together, basically on trying to solve like what the fuck's going on.
And these are robots.
These are all robots. So there's not. Okay. I'll just say there's not anybody that's made of flesh and bone in the game except for the cat.
Does the cat not have a name?
Nope.
Just the stray.
Just a stray.
Okay.
Doc is riffing really hard on Doc Brown, like the way that he's designed. He looks very much of that. He's really good as well. He gives you one of the only like kind of attack abilities in the game. But for me, I fell pretty hard for B12. I really liked everything. Like B12 was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I mean the big lady, of course.
Yeah. So with that shortening, let's read what we got here for our audio listeners here. God of War Ragnarok's Odin, Grounded's Burgle, Hard Space Shipbreaker's Weaver, Horizon Forbidden West's Kotalo, Norco's LeBlanc, Pokemon's Penny, Stray's B12, and Symphony of War's Diana, aka the Big Lady.
So I can have a discussion if you'd all like to, or I can just tell you right now that like I've had my mind made up for some time this year on who my favorite character was.
Same.
Who?
LeBlanc.
I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. I'd give a quick shout out to Penny. Listen, there's not a lot to love in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We've talked that part to death. I think Penny's a neat character. I like her Eevee backpack. It's very cute. I like her red and blue hair much better than any Fire Emblem character we're gonna get.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Do you feel that you like her because she reminds you of somebody from Persona 5?
No. I like her because she's, even though you see it coming from a mile away, I like that she is the leader of Team Star, who's been working behind the scenes. She, even though I think it's kind of lame that the Team Rocket equivalent in this game is good.
Right. It's like the Breakfast Club.
Like they're all just nice kids who ended up with a bad reputation, but it gets resolved at the end. I think that's kind of lame that there's no real conflict in there, but I still like Penny as a character, as a person who gains confidence as she goes on.
Yeah.
I think she's a neat member of the team that shows up. And then when you get to the final section of the game, when you get into area, what is it called? Area X, area, whatever the fuck?
Area X.
Area Zero.
Area Zero. Area X.
So that's
the Annihilation.
That's Res. Area X is Res. Oh, it's probably, yeah, I'm sure it's from other places as well. Anyway, I really like the part. In fact, maybe I have to put it into our best moment section because it's not in there yet.
For sure.
When you walk down Area Zero with your core squad and they're all chatting back and forth to each other, that is the best part of the game, where it feels like I'm going on an adventure with friends. It feels the most like the Pokemon anime, where it's Ash with Brock and Misty just palling around and doing fun stuff. I wish that was anywhere else in the game.
Yeah.
But I found Penny to be a really fun character in those interactions. I mean, I also think the champion Nimona is pretty cool too. In a similar thing, I just like Penny a little bit more. Anyway, they all pale in comparison to the man, the myth, the legend of LeBlanc. So we're just gonna wrap that one up.
Yeah, here's the thing. There's a lot of these characters that I think are incredible that I will have a chance to share a little bit more of why I nominated in some of the best moment sequences we talk about. So I feel fine kind of keeping it a bit shallow here on why we're passing over some people. But there were some really good characters this year in a lot of really cool games. And
I got to say, this was a fairly non-contentious category when it usually is one we fight the hardest on. So
yeah.
Good job, LeBlanc.
Thank you for doing the kit work, everybody. We really appreciate it. All right, we're gonna switch gears here a little bit.
Gonna get a little self-indulgent.
Yeah, but we started streaming during the pandemic, and I think it's one of the funnest things we've done. It's had its hiccups, but it's allowed for us to hang out a bit more, and we've even gotten to bring, as you're gonna see, some friends into the fold, which has made it worth the while.
Some might say us streaming is a big reason why I have a house, why I bought a house.
Yes.
In that I did not have a good space. I did not have an office to really set up.
A house.
And it was kind of a big part. It was kind of a big part to go, you know what? I feel like I want to have an office. Yes, I want to have an office because I work from home a lot. So I want to be able to have that for that. To be honest, I don't really work in here all that much. I have a different place that I work in this house. But having this setup now is something that really probably only came around because I felt bad that I didn't have a good setup for streaming. Among other things, but that was certainly a partial reason.
It's been a ton of fun. I know it's something that has grown more than we originally thought it would, and
we have a community. We have people that we recognize that come into our chats, say hi, clip stuff for us, and in fact, that's where we get to with this. Is that we had a bunch of fun moments this year, and we kind of wanted to recognize some of that fun. And also we wanted to be a little bit self-indulgent because it's our fucking game of the year, and this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play some clips.
Maybe you should go and watch the archive of the stream.
Yes.
There are some really good clips this year. We did not pull all of them. This is a smaller list. There's still 19 of them. But we pulled a smaller list of some of our favorite moments. These are basically all coming from Casual Mondays or Casual Fridays. There might be one from a podcast in here, but I don't think there's anything pulled from Quick Looks or anything like that.
We usually have a lot of the stuff turned off on our actual audio recordings as we just use the audio from our stream. All that being said, Chase was great. Got all these pulled together for us. Let's take a look at this first one called Albert Edison.
Apparently Edison, the Albert one, made a talking doll. I've realized an issue with this. Horrifying.
Really?
Why do we need things to talk to children?
It's not playing on the stream.
Serious?
It's not?
It is. No, it is.
In 1890, Thomas Edison.
It happened. Oh, wait, do you mean it's not playing?
Oh, never mind.
The audio is? Yeah, because it's playing as part of. You'll probably have to replay this one, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But it happened. It happened. This is a hot mic moment.
Oh,
for us. This happened. So it says starting soon. That's why Johnny didn't think it worked. But it was because this was captured hot. This I think was before our Nintendo Switch Sports stream.
All right, we're gonna play it again.
A number of friends in there. Yeah.
You guys can hear it though, right? Like it should be coming through to you. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Apparently Edison, the Albert one, made a talking doll. And it's horrifying.
Really?
Why do we need things to talk to children? Like, for serious?
Just scar them.
Back in 1890, Thomas Edison. Oh, sorry, I said Albert.
Like an idiot.
It's very good.
Wow.
I'm glad. You know what? There's a lot of me roasting you guys
Oh,
in here.
really?
So I'm fine that the first
unheard of.
one is me kind of roasting myself and then getting roasted. God, I can't believe I said Albert Edison. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's move on.
We're gonna move on.
Come on, Daisuke. What are you doing, Daisuke?
This aggression will not stand, man.
God, I'm fucking winded. Just sucking air over here.
Bobby, I was so amazed you made this play.
It was very good.
Yeah. Oh no.
Go, 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 go! Yes!
This was such a good stream. I know like none of us really stuck with Nintendo Switch Sports.
Bobby with the hell of a
But this
shot.
was such a fun
That's a
stream.
hell of
That was a really fun one.
It was a fun stream for you and me, Bobby. Johnny, especially in this moment, was not having much fun at
He
all.
hated it, and he had the bowling shirt on, which was so fucking good.
He's just standing there. I mean, it's
He
small.
hates
You
it.
can't really see it here, but he's just standing,
Didn't
fucking slack
he said
jawed.
something. I can't. He called it something. He called
It's like this isn't the game. This doesn't feel like soccer at all.
This is where Johnny gets redeemed, though. This is one of my
True,
favorite
this-
things that Johnny and I say to each other. This is taken from an Angerfoot demo. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance.
But not for me.
Guy's taking a
delivery.
shit and he just gets kicked off the toilet. It's so good.
Your delivery of Call an Ambulance is so good, and that I had a great time. But
That
you
was
know
a
what?
fun one.
Let's go back to what really matters, which is us clowning on Johnny in Nintendo Switch Sports Soccer.
Oh, okay.
Aw, come on, Bobby.
Go, Sarah. Go, 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 go.
This is it. Johnny's gonna run out of stamina. I know he is. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
Do
Who
it,
has
Chase.
it?
Put your
Yes!
Such bullshit.
I called it from moment one. I could tell, like you're running out of stamina. I could tell.
Oh, that was good.
I love that we had all of our screens too. That was so good.
That was fun. That was a good one for that stream, especially when we're all moving around.
Yeah.
That was a bitch to pull off too. Like I had to make a second Discord profile real quick because it wasn't
It was
bringing in
rough.
my audio and my game audio. It was a hell of a thing. But that was so much fun. I know Johnny wasn't having a great time.
It's great.
At that point, but
He was loving life.
One of my favorite streams. You know what? I didn't mention it on our last episode before Game of the Year. I did go back and play the golf.
Oh, you said it was bad.
Yeah, I played the golf that got added to Nintendo Switch Sports. I think it's really soulless, and I had a terrible time. I was playing alone. Maybe it would have been a lot more fun if I was playing with other people, but I would have rather gone back and played Wii Sports Golf than played this. And they were the same courses, so I kind of was, but it was bad. It was bad.
Another community favorite, Mario Kart. We've had a ton of fun with Mario Kart this year.
I appreciate it.
It's so much fun with Mario Kart.
Damn luck. Oops.
I do hate that I said that line. That was pretty stupid, but this is very good.
Wow. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I'm not even,
The comeback is amazing.
I'll be a.
Bobby, did you have the ghost?
Yep.
So you stole my horn, and then you used my horn against me.
And then you used my horn against me.
That is a.
It's cold-blooded. Is what I did.
You're gonna pay for that one, buddy.
You're a real piece of shit. That was so good.
It's my one W too. I'll take it.
I respect
By any
that
means
one.
necessary.
What do we got here? Oh, this is where things got real spicy with Johnny and I. A little Fortnite.
Yeah. This was the first game.
Dude, we did not play this good the other night. We got our dicks kicked in.
Ow, bots.
No. Look at that.
It's really easy in the first go.
Darth Vader got the kill shot.
Here it is. I would say that's the only bummer about this clip is that it's so cool, but you don't get to see you don't get to see Darth Vader do the kill shot. You just get to hear about it.
We got spammed with some really good rewards too. That was great.
Oh, yeah, I hit you with the congratulations. I can't remember who did the sweet victory. It was probably Jiggy, but yeah.
Very good.
And that was the first match you played on that stream.
Yeah.
We won 3 in a row.
We'll just jump in, we'll play, and because then you play right after this, and you fucking won again.
I know.
Are you sure
yes.
you won 3 in a row, or I thought you had like one loss and then you won again?
No, we went 3
in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a hat trick.
Damn. That was incredible. And
Here's Best Buddies, one of our Casual Monday streams.
It was a great one. Great series.
And then I should put the other one like that, I think.
Yep.
Good?
We're done.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured it would probably be.
I don't know how we didn't kill each other.
Initially trying to do.
Well, I mean, we literally did kill each other sometimes in the game.
Easier for some of us, I guess.
I'm really glad we had your screen sharing on that one.
Because didn't you fall doing the same thing in that one?
Not once we figured it out. Like once we had the blue bouncy goo on the thing, I got up there first try, and then you came around and went,
okay.
Well, guess not. But no, we were killing ourselves all the time before we actually got to that moment. It's just at the end there where it all kind of came through.
Little heart spaceship breaker.
Some super
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little twangy guitar there.
God.
Oh! Yay!
Oh no.
We got smashed. I don't know. I forgot about that.
Everybody wins!
Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should
The
be.
loser.
It was Jiggy and it was Jedi who both threw that on.
Oh, thank you,
Loser!
Yeah.
That's so
Are you
good.
feeling sorry for yourself?
I think my favorite part of this clip is the context that I think this might have been the first time you were streaming this in 2022 for us.
I think so.
And all I wanted was for you to die.
Oh yeah.
I was like, we need to. I want you to do well, but I also want you to kill yourself. And then it happened organically.
I didn't disappoint.
It was so good. It was so good. I was so happy.
Back to Mario Kart. I see a green shell. This is only going to go well.
Another whole lap to go.
Here we go.
Oh God. Oh
Out of my
God.
fucking way.
Damn it.
I got hit by
Green shells for the win, baby!
Son of a bitch. I don't deserve to play. I got hit by a green shell. It's a lot of fun. God damn it. Oh, that was so dirty. Dirtier than me stealing.
I'm pretty good with shells. Gotta say.
Nothing tests a friendship like Mario Kart.
I think you know what, I think it really helped that we had so many friends on those streams.
Let me see what happens if I can get. God, this guy's just chasing me like.
This is the newest one.
Ugh. Yeah.
This just happened. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Oh no. Thing swallowed you whole.
The best thing here is that Johnny thought he had glitched out.
I am the beast
but
of
he
now.
he had fallen and he was hanging onto a ledge.
Your delivery though, your delivery on that, I am the beast of Nurgle, was so good.
That was. It's a shame that game doesn't play better.
Agreed.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Celebrity sighting.
Ooh. Is that Cappy?
Halloween.
That's Cappy, right?
It's.
Or is it
Hey
just
guys. Hey guys, it's a me.
Are you Chris Pratt? You're Chris Pratt.
That's my Mario. Hope you guys like it.
And then he never stopped.
I do.
This was when it was good. It definitely got old.
Would you like to hear my Christopher Walken?
Yes.
Okay.
God, Chase, you're mad, man.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Still a spot on impression.
That's
very good.
I gotta say, I was so pissed that you said Chris Pratt just as I was. You guessed Chris Pratt just as I was about to say it. Like I'm here. You threw a Cappy thing out there. I'm like, that's fine. That's good. Yeah. And now I get to say, hey, I'm Chris Pratt. And you're like, you Chris Pratt at the exact moment I'm saying it. Like, son of a bitch.
Yep. I ruined it.
It worked out. And then I ruined it. I ruined it for everybody by going on so long and doing so many terrible impressions. But it was funny at the beginning. It was a great moment.
We not only played Portal 2 together, we played Portal Bridge Constructor as well.
True. Mm-hmm.
You only need it to work once.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Look at that.
Uh-oh.
Look at that.
Hard.
Oh, we got ourselves a bridge constructor here, boys.
Pew pew.
Hot damn.
Let's see if can it handle the convoy? That's my question.
I mean, structurally, sure. You're going to lose a lot of guys. Oh, you might get a...
Famous last words.
Figure 8 style demolition.
This is like watching the Shriners, man.
I really thought there was going to be a collision just with the figure 8 crosses, but that never happened. But we did get a little fun here at the end.
How about that?
Shit.
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
You lost like a person or two.
Yeah, we lost a lot of people.
Made it through. That's all that mattered, right?
Shrinkage, yeah.
So good.
Yes, more Mario Kart. This is only going to go downhill, I assume.
No, this is more of Johnny getting owned.
It's like a tower and has all the different...
Jenga?
No. Bill. God damn it.
Got him.
I love it. I love it when people other than me owns Johnny.
I love that. Here, I'm going to rewind it.
Johnny, but I love it when other people own Johnny.
All right. So here's the best part. I'm pausing it for a second.
Yeah.
Johnny's getting roasted, and it's like my me is connected to this. Might as well be fucking James Cameron's Avatar, because I start twerking when Johnny's getting roasted. It's so good.
God damn it.
Got him.
Man.
He's so mad.
He's like, I don't even know.
God damn it, that's good.
Look at him.
That was probably our best stream. I think that was our best stream of the whole year.
He's fucking Furby. He just doesn't know what to say.
This is a man who's lost everything.
I don't. He's T-posing.
Oh my god.
I'm so upset.
Oh, that's great.
Tell the story, or you over it?
It's not even gonna finish the story.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just stopped. You fucking broke.
You're done.
Oh, more Mario Kart.
More Mario. Yep.
House right now, Bobby. Damn it, Chase.
Yeah, or no, I'd say damn it, Johnny.
Oh,
I'm in
man.
place.
I mean, it is all Chase's fault.
it is.
It is.
That's
It's
fair.
true.
Phil
everybody
cursed
says.
me. He hit
Mother
me.
trucker fudging Mario.
There it is. Let it out.
Now the real Mario
Whipped
Kart begins.
is such a great part of our
I know.
Community. I'm so glad that she jumped in and played with us. It was such a great sport.
We need to make sure we play those new tracks.
Yes.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. They're now or soon? Are they actually out yet?
This Friday, right?
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we've got, we're doing Game of the Year. We're going to take a week off, but I know that that's something we'll probably have to do early January. But these have been such fun streams to get our friends together and to play these things. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I just love playing Mario Kart with you guys. It's great.
It's so much fun.
We can try it.
More Portal 2.
More Portal 2.
Not the worst idea.
So then you get me, and I'm gonna grab that.
It's set up for you.
I mean, this one might take a little bit of context, as there are these turrets on these pillars, and we just couldn't figure out how to knock them down because you needed to get them down before you could actually move on.
Remember what happened with this?
It's fantastic.
Definitely not how we're supposed to do this, but I love that it works.
You know, it might actually be the way you have to do it. It just did not feel.
Dude, get smoked.
So you just like be bouncing through these two portals, keeping your momentum, so you're always going up the same amount of height, and just
get out of there,
catching the laser beam and just barely having a moment to fry these turrets.
Stay alive here. I can.
So good.
God damn it, that was so much fun.
Man.
That was a fun game. That was a fun game.
Reinhardt. Great.
Oh, I'm
I still want to go back and play the solo.
Oh.
All right. Well, see ya.
Well. Okay.
That was just rude.
It was very rude.
Wow, Reinhardt, you're so tough picking on the healer. Look at you.
I think that's me that he pushed off first.
Oh yeah, he pushed off all of us.
Yeah, like he knocked me, but he was taking you all the way down.
We got 2 more to get through. This is a Casual Monday favorite, Monster Train. Oh, dude, Johnny, if you've not seen this, holy shit.
Yeah, I have.
Holy
Bobby,
shit.
what's happening?
It's sickening. It's sickening how good of a combo this was.
Just keeps going.
Oh, dude.
And like you can see on the boss, it's got a little X on it. We didn't have to do any of this.
No.
This was just style points. And it was all style points.
Dude, this
we ended up
guy.
with like 6,500 health. It was nuts.
That's such a good fucking game because you can just break the shit out of it.
It's been so fun for Casual Mondays. I'm really.
Oh, yeah.
We have to go back to it at some point in 2023. But yeah.
We will end with Mario Kart.
Oh, you got so fucked.
Oh, who is that in first?
God damn.
Nobody good.
We need to fix that shit. That's for sure.
Take it up with my banana.
Okay.
I did.
I will do no such thing.
Well, I'm cool with that.
Not
Yep,
another
no
red
banana.
son of a
That's why we bring 2, baby, and that blue shell ain't gonna hit me.
son of a bitch.
I got so fucked there. I got so
Plus
fucked.
you got
What's your
inked.
present there, Bobby?
I got 2 red shells inked.
Blue shell. Yeah, 2 red shells. Blue shell,
Man, what a
inked,
game.
and a bomb once you landed that you had 0
I'm
chance
surprised I
of
didn't quit
avoiding.
at that point in time.
It was so good. It's just your delivery of Chase, I hate you. I hate you. You could feel it. I could feel the anger.
I was
It was
so mad because I never win. I never fucking win. All right, now we have to pick a favorite. What stands out?
Holy shit. It's tough. I think Take It Up With My Banana. I know it's a little recency bias, but that is one of my favorites.
Very good. I gotta say though, I love Johnny getting roasted. That was so good. Jenga? I love that one. But Take It Up With My Banana is fine.
I mean, trying to look at some of these other ones. I mean, I really like the Chris Pratt thing, but I understand that afterward it got real bad. And I won't apologize for it, but I will say probably doesn't deserve to win because of what happened afterward.
I would
vote banana.
Okay.
I think I'm also going banana.
All right. Take it up with my banana. We will post that
really
clip
good.
to our social, but it's also on twitch.tv/casual hour. For anybody who's listening to this and not watching it, go back and check that out.
Bobby, you took it like a champ.
I took it.
It is one of the most fucked ways to go from first to last in Mario.
Yeah,
No kidding.
That was real bad.
Well, with that, since we talked so much about Mario Kart, maybe we can talk a little bit about some of the reasons why in our next category, which is best additional content. And I'll just say for everybody who's been following along, we've had some pretty long-winded discussion. Chase does a good job of breaking things up. We've got a few of these that are going to be smaller, very quick categories that we can get through compared to some of the bigger conversations. So
hopefully, fingers crossed.
Best additional content, we have Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, Forza Horizon 5, Hot Wheels DLC, Into the Breach Advanced Edition, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack, Miyamoto S, and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
I'm just going to bold Into the Breach Advanced Edition and we can move on. Sound good?
Hey, it's a hell of a game. It's a hell of a game.
I mean,
honestly, what I will say is this. I'm very surprised by how little I heard both of you talk about that. Outside of that moment where it came out, we did like a stream or two of it. I thought for sure that you two would be just singing us praises all year long.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like I do. Anytime you want to bring that game up, I'll still say it's one of my favorite games of all time. But I kind of beat the content that was there. I unlocked all the new groups, or unlocked enough of the new groups that I felt like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's what I want to know. And then it's just back to a game that I pick up every handful of months and play one run of, and then put it down.
And it came to mobile, which is crazy.
Well, Netflix only, but yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the best games of all time, and it got better.
Yeah.
And I think some of those new units are some of the best.
If we're just cutting down to brass tacks here,
I do. I mean, I'm joking a little bit. I do want to hear arguments for other things.
I think I really liked Sunbreak. And the Hot Wheels DLC was a lot of fun.
I mean, I would say, sorry to interrupt, I would say that similar to your point, Bobby, about how you didn't hear us talk about Into the Breach that much, I don't remember hearing you guys talk about Sunbreak at all.
We did a lot of streams
after it came out.
Yeah.
Did you?
We did. Oh, yeah, we did a ton of streams.
I knew there was at least one stream, but I felt like that one came and went for you guys as well. And
I will tell you, it came and went for Johnny a lot more than, I mean, I got credits on it and did some bigger ones. I don't even think Johnny beat it, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I didn't. I didn't get all the way to the end.
It got Norded.
For me, the Mario Kart stuff has been the most fun.
That's the one for me.
With y'all,
for sure,
streams together.
Now,
I think clearly we just went through shows how great it is.
Absolutely. Like the only pushback I'd have on that is, are you thinking that because the content that was added is actually the best content, or is it just that we did some streams on it with all of our friends? Because I could argue that we could have played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe without any of this additional content with our friends and would have still had just as fun a time. I think those courses are great, and I think they added back some of my favorite all-time Mario Kart courses.
Yeah, if we're talking for the casual hour,
I
feel like
I think that's fair. I think that's
fair. They're putting out, and it's not all out this year, so who knows how, like, it might be hard for us to say, like, hey, this is good, because it's not fully out. But I will say,
are there 5 waves or 6 waves? I can't remember.
Oh God, I can't remember
and
either.
This is only the 3rd wave that is coming out, so we've only played 2 of the waves.
Because it is 32 more tracks.
Yeah, it's 48 total.
They're never going to stop making these.
I would say so. I think Sunbreak can go. I'll strike that out. I had a blast with it. It's more of the same, which is fine. I will.
Here's something I'm gonna do. I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Fair.
Destiny 2: The Witch Queen's been struck out.
It's fine. Same with Horizon DLC.
Let me talk about Miyamoto really quick, because I don't think we'll have a chance to talk about this game otherwise. Miyamoto.
It's getting a raw deal this year because we all discovered it this year, or at least Bobby and I did. I don't know if Johnny played it, but yeah, it came out much earlier, but we all just realized it this year.
It launched on Steam this year, and then I think it got the S update on iOS. I'm not mistaken. There's like some other content there that you don't get on Steam. Having said that, this is a run-based. It's a board game. You're playing with these different. Yeah, it's kind of like
tactical roguelike board game. Yeah,
it might look like chess to some people when you see things kind of like mapped out the way they do it. It's got a good look to it. It's very pleasant to look at, low poly, cool style for sure. But we had mistakenly thought it came out this year, so I had it in a few other categories. But just from an additional content standpoint, it did get the S update for iOS, and it did get a Steam release this year. So we wanted to at least say hello to Miyamoto S. That is on iOS and Steam, and it's very cool. You should check it out.
I also got to say that game has the worst SEO imaginable, because when you're called Miyamoto, what do you think happens when you search for it? And then you have the balls to call it Miyamoto S? Like, that's going to make it better? It makes it worse, you motherfuckers.
Dude, it's so hard to find anything on it. It's so hard to find it.
Also, the developer is Japanese, and his Twitter account is pretty much all in Japanese as well. So it, like Bobby said, it's so hard to find content about this. The only reason I found out that it came out earlier than this year is because when you go on the iOS App Store, you can see the version history, and it says 2018 for 1.0. So this game has been out for a while, but this S version is the part that got added. I think the S version adds like a Shiba Inu as one of your playable.
It's a cool
decks.
dog in the game too.
Yeah,
I'd like to do something if I can.
I love it, but yeah, it doesn't hang here. What's up, Bobby?
History oftentimes doesn't give you a chance for redemption, especially when you look like me. And when Into the Breach came out, I thought it was cool, but I didn't really understand the hype. I've seen the light, Chase. I've touched the sun, and I'm hooked. And if you look at a lot of what I play these days, I'm a sicko like you, and I would like to retro correct here Into the Breach and put a little respect on its name and say that that's probably the best. Even though I might not have had the most fun with it this year,
with that.
I think Into the Breach deserves.
Welcome into the fold, brother Bobby.
I'm going to welcome into the breach.
It's great to have you here.
I had to pick myself up by my breeches there for a second.
Again, I love the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. It's been very good so far. I really.
If I don't have to give the Switch any dues, I won't. Trust me.
I've really the Advanced Edition DLC does show up on the Switch, but I really have enjoyed the courses they've added so far. They've added some really good classic courses, as well as some ones that I've never seen because I didn't play Mario Kart Tour until this year, and also I don't really like that game. But the courses themselves are not the problem. So adding them into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been great. Again, they've only released 2 of those waves, and there's so many more waves to go. It does feel a little hard to say whether that's actually the winner here. But I don't think we've had more fun on this year than doing those Mario Kart streams. The Nintendo Switch Sports is like a semi-close second, but the Mario Kart streams we've done have just been so much fun.
We'll talk about it, maybe not this episode, but after the holiday break. We'll talk a bit about like 2023 and like we usually do. These are our resolutions, but we are going to add. I'm letting you all a little secret. We're adding in a more permanent way of having community events like that for some of our streams moving forward, where we'll have it mapped out and people will be able to predict it a little bit easier. So there's some stuff in the works there. All that being said, it's time to take a sponsored break here. We have another category that we do get a sponsorship for, and this one is brought together, Better Together, sponsored by Johnny and Jude. And Johnny, I would love for you to run down this list here of your sponsors.
Should we explain what this means
Johnny,
before we get into the nominees?
What is Better Together, boys?
These are games that are more fun to play with a friend or your son, if you're me.
So yeah, even though this is sponsored by Johnny and Jude, it's not necessarily the games Johnny and Jude played together. It's more of hero multiplayer games that we liked and played multiplayer. I feel like we may have accidentally ruined this category with talking about Mario Kart before. But let's talk about it. Maybe, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Sorry, I had an early access game I left on there. I just took it off.
Okay.
What was it? let me know.
Shatterline.
We have.
Oh, that's early access. Okay.
It is. Yeah. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, DMZ, Deep Rock Galactic, Dimeo, Dying Light 2.
Oh, DeMayo. I'm just.
Elden Ring. I don't actually know either. Elden Ring, Fortnite, Grounded, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Mario Kart 8 DLC, Neon White, Nintendo Switch Sports, Sniper Elite 5, Splatoon 3, and Warhammer 40K Darktide.
I'm gonna say I put Neon White on here, and I know that's a little strange because
it is.
I get it.
It's not really a multiplayer game in the sense that you would expect compared to some of the ones on here.
You can't play online. You can't play couch co-op or anything like that.
No.
But it does have a multiplayer component to it. Yes.
And I thought that like that's what kept me hooked in that game was the zeitgeist and like looking at my friends list and making me spend more time with it. So I put it on here. I understand it might not break the mold. So if we want to take it off from a technicality, I get it. But I did have a fun time having that be something I was chasing on it, which is more of a scoreboard rather than a multiplayer game. So this is like a very roundabout way of talking about it here.
Yeah, no, I mean, here's the deal. I played Neon White late when nobody else was playing it anymore. And I played it on Switch, which means I didn't know either of your times for anything. And they probably wouldn't have even been applicable together because if you guys played it with a mouse and keyboard, I don't know, whatever the fuck. I still had a really fucking good time with that game.
Yeah.
I know there's elements of it. The leaderboard stuff is critically important to some of that, or it puts it over the top. But also, that game's really fucking good, no matter how many people you're competing with. Let's continue.
Also, I'm gonna get rid of Deep Rock because that's technically not a new game for this year. Yeah. So it's fun. I'm gonna get rid of it.
I'm not saying you have to cut it, but I would like somebody to tell me what season of Fortnite we are in / we were in when we were nominating this. Because wasn't there just a new season that just started where everything...
Yeah, Chapter 3 is where it started, and we just hit Chapter 4 last week.
Okay. So I'm fine keeping it here. I'm just writing in Fortnite Chapter 3. So now... generations past will go, oh, Chapter 3 of Fortnite was the good one.
I'm fine taking Sniper Elite 5 off here. I love that you can...
That game seemed like such fun.
It is. It's great.
Yeah. I played Sniper Elite 3 alone and had a great time, but the bits watching you guys play 5, that just looks great.
It's great. I think that I played through most of that game by myself, and there's like very specific things and objectives that, I mean, it's comical, but like you have to be like-minded to be like, okay, we're playing it this way versus I'm gonna shoot every dick I see. So Warhammer can come off here as well. Like I don't think there's I would not play that game by myself probably, and you can't. It has to be played with other people.
Only good together at this point, and even then, you're not going to be together long because at least one of you will crash out of the game.
One of my favorite things this year was playing Elden Ring with Bobby, but I also played almost 200 hours of that game mostly by myself.
The multiplayer is pretty broken on it. At least it was at launch.
Yes, it was. Like it just disconnects. Getting booted from other people's worlds.
Like, I'm using a poison build. I'm using a different build. Okay, yeah.
No, just like from like a network perspective, it wasn't great sometimes. So I'm fine getting rid of it. I'm also fine getting rid of Splatoon 3. I think I'm probably the one here that likes Splatoon the most. And I don't feel that strongly about it. I also mostly played that by myself.
I've enjoyed some Splatoon in the past. I played Splatoon 2 probably the most of any of these. I get that it's a fun game. It just it hasn't quite clicked for me.
Speaking of Johnny and Jude, I bought the Skywalker Saga, and I think Jude and I played it together for maybe 30 minutes, and
it is designed to be played with other people, much like some of the other games. But I don't think it can go. It's cool. It's probably the best. Yeah, I think it's the best Lego Star Wars is out there.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And I think we can also cut Nintendo Switch Sports. It gave us one very, very fun stream.
Agreed.
The game is not all that good.
I haven't played it since.
I played it once since, and I just told you about it. And I think that golf was incredibly disappointing, and it bums me the fuck out. Bowling is still fun.
Yeah.
I would bowl with other people. I think there's a handful of games on there that are pretty good. Tennis, bowling, the Chambara is okay. I thought volleyball was pretty rough. I thought
what they should have done
was pretty rough. What's up?
They should have called this game Me Sports instead of Switch Sports. It just would have it would have been so much better to call it that.
They also should have included the Me-topia Mii's in here. You mentioned that at the beginning. Like, why wasn't there support for that? It should have been a whole lot better, and it just wasn't. Feels bad.
I'm cool getting rid of Daimyo and Dying Light 2. Daimyo is awesome. I wish I liked it more, but I think playing that with friends in an environment that felt, especially in VR for me, was really cool. And then Dying Light 2, it's a ton of fun to be in that bombastic world with a buddy, but I played most of that by myself, and it's fine by itself.
So we got a final four here of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 DMZ mode specifically. Fortnite Chapter 3, Grounded, and the Mario Kart 8 DLC.
I think Mario Kart 8 DLC is absolutely great with other people. It's like the only way to play it, and clearly we had a ton of fun multiple times this year with it. I'm kind of with you. I see where you're going. I think it kind of gets fucked two different ways. One of them, Mario Kart 8, is an extremely old game. If we want to go all the way back to the Wii U, even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, this is DLC. It's not even fully out yet. There's only a couple parts of it. It has been
mostly old tracks.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, it's all old,
but they're
tracks,
all remade, and for this one. But
it's definitely the most fun I've had playing multiplayer this year. But I think there's reasons why we would go with one of the other ones. So we've got Call of Duty, Fortnite, or Grounded, and I haven't played any of these enough to be able to have a dog in this fight. So you guys tell me what wins.
For me personally, just doing something I never thought I would do, which is getting into Fortnite because of my kid and playing with him. And the first time we played together, we won. That was awesome. That's one of my favorite moments from this year. And then talking Bobby into streaming it, and then it turns out this game is actually a whole lot of fun to play with your friends.
It's a game we ragged on
for
so many years.
Totally.
Oh, hey, whatever. It's the big popular game that all the kids are playing, and whatever, we play other real games. And I still have not played Fortnite, but I've watched you guys play it, do some streams of it, and you guys have sung its praises. And I have a newfound respect for Fortnite, despite still having no interest in playing it. I get it.
I'm fine with it winning. I really like Grounded.
I was going to say it's between that and Grounded for me.
Yeah, Grounded is a game that lives and dies in a lot of ways by the people you have there with it. But one of the things I think is rough is they've done a really cool thing. On one hand, they've made a shared world where like everybody gets the experience together, which is awesome. But if you play that game by yourself without somebody else, they don't get to experience the story beats. They just get the reward from it. And I think that kind of defeats it. Now, from a strictly base building and survival craft, it's one of the best I've played. But I think I personally, for our show and this conversation, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that I'd be playing Fortnite on stream with Johnny and sometimes playing with Johnny and Jude, I would have told you you're crazy. So I think that's one that I only want to play it with Johnny and friends.
Just as like a token amount of pushback.
Mm-hmm.
Do we like Fortnite because of what it did in 2022 specifically, or is this still it's Fortnite and we just played it this year?
I think of it like this is the best game experience I've had with somebody else this year. Like it's like that's what I'm approaching it. Like I wouldn't have wanted to play this without somebody.
I'm not saying it discounts it from
I
being
know.
on
I
here
think I
at
know what you're
all,
saying though. Like it's
but
Fortnite.
is something like, hey, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the DMZ mode is completely brand new for this year. You guys had a ton of fun with it. Maybe there's some recency bias.
I don't
still
think
there.
that I would have been
know,
playing
but
Call of Duty. I mean, Grounded would be Grounded is my favorite game on this list by a decent amount. But I think I didn't expect to be playing Fortnite this year. I honestly was kind of almost a sour place in my mind for Call of Duty. Like the last Call of Duty I played was one that launched on the PS4. And
you guys did play the no building mode in Fortnite this year, right?
Yeah.
So that was brand new for this year. So
that's why I think a lot of people went back to the game, quite frankly.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to justify it for myself where I can feel good as like, hey, this was a 2022 experience and not just similar to Miyamoto, a game that we played in 2022 that we really liked. I can get behind that. I'm fine with this.
I mean, honestly, dude, like I could go either way. Like both are a shock to me, and I'm having I think DMZ's the most interesting that game's been in years.
I agree.
And I have a blast playing it, and I've got to hang out and kind of rekindle a relationship with Johnny's cousin. So like I'm fine with it going to the DMZ. Like Warzone 2.0 DMZ would be fine by me.
Whatever you guys want.
The only reason I went to Fortnite was because of Jude. I
feel most strongly about Fortnite, even though I like Call of Duty more. But it's been great because like 2 nights ago I was like, hey Jude, do you want to play some Fortnite? And we just hung out, and he's
did some pub stomps.
Yeah, like he's getting to a point where like he has friends and he hangs out with them, and like, you know, we don't get to hang out together as much anymore because he has his friendship circles,
and
so
it's
and it's me, and that has been really great for me to get to like hang out with my kid and bond over you know, our mutual love of video games, and he getting to teach me, like show me the ropes, because
he taught you how to no scope 360, didn't he?
Yeah, because like, you know, I'm the gamer dad or whatever, and so usually I'm showing him like, hey, this is how it works in this game. But he,
like you've gone from, hey dad, can you beat this boss for me, to hey dad, here's how you actually do the thing.
Yeah, like, and that was cool. That was awesome. That was one of my favorite things that happened this year was learning how to play Fortnite by playing it with my kid, and like us being in such sync with one another that we get lots of victories together. It's
fine. I think it's a great. It makes sense to me.
Like Bobby said, if you told me like at the beginning of the year, hey, some of the most fun you're gonna have with a video game this year is gonna be Fortnite, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're no. And then
before we move on, big question: what is his current Fortnite skin, and what is your current Fortnite skin?
I usually switch to Goku or Vader, and his is always, I don't know. It was like some skeleton man.
He sent me a screenshot of getting some W's, and he's been playing as it was back in the store over the weekend. It might still be there, but Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And so he had that skin on, and he sent that my way, and
he's a big Spider-Man fan. I think he changes his skin like every day. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
He has a bunch of them.
Congratulations, Fortnite.
Yeah, congratulations, Fortnite. Chapter 3. Whatever. Why don't I read off this one, because this is one you guys get to debate on, and I get to kind of sit down and. I mean, I do have a very nice, fancy PC. I should be able to start being parts of these conversations next year, but I did not play enough of these games to know which one's actually the prettiest. So for our best looking / most graphics category, this is basically. We have like a best style that's about like, hey, you know, who had like the best art direction here, and you know, sound and all that stuff. But we do want to have a category here for just what game.
This is your 4K monitors. Best. Like you've got ray tracing, you've got high refresh rates. Yeah,
doing all the stuff.
The deep dive.
Yeah. What's today's crisis these days?
Mm-hmm.
And so our nominees: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Dying Light 2, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Grounded, Hard Space Shipbreaker, Horizon Forbidden West, Sniper Elite 5, Stray, Teardown, and the Callisto Protocol.
I don't know if Elden Ring belongs in this category.
I mean, it's a gross looking game, dude. There's some really.
Is it gross though from an
no,
art style standpoint?
It's fine. I think it does a really good job on being a very like functioning open, like massively open world game, and I would say that it's probably more style than it's
more
graphics.
art direction.
Yeah,
than it is
for sure.
Like, hey, look at them graphics.
I guess I would kind of also say a similar thing about Grounded, unless Bobby, you want to tell me why I'm wrong on that?
Grounded has, from a technical standpoint, it's caused some hitches on less than adequate consoles that can't push it. But like some of the details in exploring the world at that size from like a graphical level, like there's a translucency that happens with like the foil, like the leaves and other plants and all that shit. It is a very, very well rendered world. I don't think it's the best on here, but I think it is something that like Obsidian did a fantastic job of just making a beautifully lush world backyard, like the attention to detail. This is more style I'm talking about now, so never mind. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I mean that was my thing. Like I think it has a lot of style. I think it looks great, but is it really pushing the polygons like some of these other ones are? Like Teardown, I would say Teardown, like it has kind of its voxely look that I think has a cool style to it, but that game with the physics stuff that goes into it and how it is able to keep that going, or even sometimes how it's not able to keep that going because you can do so many crazy things to it. I think that is a technical marvel in a way that I think it deserves to be a good candidate on this category.
Yeah, Teardown for sure. Stray, I think, looked gorgeous. It's for me way more in a different category on the style category. So I would probably talk about it there. I would also say
Sniper Elite 5 looks good, but I wouldn't say it's one of the. I don't know if it's not a showpiece. Beats out this list.
Does it beat the all gillied up style mission of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2?
No, we can get rid of Call of Duty 2, I think.
We can. Oh, I thought that was like a big favorite.
It looks really, really good, but it's not one of my favorites for this list.
What is your favorite, Johnny?
Yeah, what are we talking about here? Is this a God of War versus Horizon debate? Is that what we're going?
I think that's probably where I would have it at here.
Callisto looks fucking incredible.
That game looks so good that they're making television advertisements for it. They want to push it hard.
They do. It's just a shame the game part of it isn't as good.
Kind of what I'm hearing.
I think Horizon Forbidden West is a better looking game than God of War Ragnarok. I think the vistas are far more spread out. The game's more open. You can take more in at any given moment. The tech behind that they've used for like the cone functioning of how it's like rendering things. Some of the best looking water I've seen outside of Sea of Thieves is in that game as well. The fluidity of making that function, the way that they've got like, I watched a whole thing on the water on how the vectors that they're using on it like never mimic one another from a really interesting standpoint, from a technical standpoint. I think also God of War Ragnarok is gorgeous. So like this is a tough conversation for me.
I think it's more of an art direction preference for me for God of War.
Sure.
I think the tech in Horizon is probably better and more impressive. And this being the category that it is, I'm good with Horizon taking it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying.
Gorilla does some good work. I still sometimes will go back and watch that Killzone 2 trailer.
Yeah,
just because like that is that is the one where people were saying, "Oh wait, no, this is actually the Halo killer," and it wasn't.
No.
Game
I remember
didn't live
that.
up to that. Game didn't live up to that trailer. Didn't look anything
That trailer
like
was
that trailer.
awesome.
But that trailer, holy shit, that trailer.
Yeah.
And even still, I think Guerrilla does some amazing stuff on the tech side. I don't care. I have not cared about Horizon Forbidden West at all. I enjoyed the first Horizon game. It was great. But I still absolutely 100% respect the polygons of the game.
And
It looks like it runs great.
It does, yeah. God of War though is just incredible in itself. Like they've done some fantastic work, but Horizon's the winner here.
Okay.
Congratulations to Horizon.
Ugly. I think Horizon's ugly.
What do you mean?
Never
mind. Yeah, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. God damn it.
I don't know what he's doing, but
all right.
What's happening?
Buckle up, you two. Because
this is going to take forever just to get through the category.
I
will figure out who wins.
I'll read through it. If I need to take a breath or get tagged out, I'll let you know.
All right.
Best style. First, before I read the list, what is best style, you two?
Best style is a combination of art direction, of audio design, of general vibes. Like it is an aesthetic. This is a full-on aesthetic category. It's not just what has the prettiest looking graphics. It's everything.
Sometimes the graphics aren't great.
Sometimes the graphics are terrible. But like it's just the game.
It's got fucking style.
It has
like,
fucking style.
You know it if you see it. Like it's one of those things that it doesn't have to tell.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
it's audio visual pornography. That's what we're looking for.
There we go. Right.
And I will make the decision right now if we do need to pump another category. We only have one after this, but if we get long-winded here and we want to bump Little Guide to Wednesday, we don't have to. We'll see how we do. All right, starting with the top, 20 Minutes Till Dawn, A Little to the Left, APCO, Arcade Paradise, The Case of the Golden Idol, Citizen Sleeper, Cult of the Lamb, Demio, Elden Ring, Evil West, Far Changing Tides, Neon White, Haiku the Robot, Hard Space Shipbreaker, Jack Move, Kaiju Attack, Cardboard Kings, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Live Alive, Loot River, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Need for Speed Unbound, Nobody Saves the World, Norco, Ollie Ollie World, Ooblets, Patrick's Parabox, Pentiment, Please Fix the Road, Power Wash Simulator, Roller Drome, Splatoon 3, Soldiers, Strange Horticulture, Swordship, Teardown, Tim, The Outbound Ghost, Tinykin, Trek to Yomi, Trombone Champ, Tunic, Undergrave, Weird West, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh my god.
Okay. I think to help us out here, we're gonna do this category a little bit differently than we've done the previous categories. I think we each go around, do a round table. We'll do it 3 times.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest,
cool.
Chase.
We'll each of us will pick 3 games. I think it should go in a thing where I do a pick, Bobby does a pick, Johnny does a pick, and we keep going around. That'll get us down to, what is that, 9?
9.
Yeah.
I think 9 is a much easier thing to look at than all of these. There's so many great looking games.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We gotta, just for our sanity.
All right.
We have to do it.
Chase, would you please then tell me what game I'm going to mark here?
I'm going to put an asterisk next to Neon White.
Fair. I'm not surprised. I'm going to put one by Ollie Ollie World.
I'm going to put one by Elden Ring.
Okay. Chase, you're up again.
Man, there's some good looking games. You know what? I'm going to put one next to a game I didn't even play. Okay. And that is Please Fix the Road.
Yeah. It's fair.
Fucking rad.
Chase, if you'd be so kind to put one next to Roller Drome.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna put one next to Cult of the Lamb.
Okay. Thank you. He saves me a step. Appreciate that.
Shit.
This is it, right? This is my final pick.
This is your last pick. I am really torn between Citizen Sleeper and Live Alive. I think other games have done the HD 2D.
Yeah, dude.
I think Live Alive does it really nicely.
Yeah.
Better than probably any of the other ones that I've seen so far. I think it's still a style we've seen a couple times before.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go Citizen Sleeper.
I think I'm going to go Norco here.
I mean, you can't say Citizen Sleeper without also saying Norco in any conversation. So fair enough.
Is there any game, like, I know that we could all say something here, but do you want to maybe pick?
Johnny's got one more game.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Trombone Champ.
What I was gonna say while he's
pure style. What were you gonna say, Bobby?
We should each pick a game or two to say goodbye to as well. Yeah. Like that we would like be able to speak to a little bit.
I'm gonna asterisk Tunic.
I was going to come back to that.
Sorry, I have to fix a very big wrong here. I'm taking off Please Fix the Road and I'm doing Pentiment instead. Holy shit, Pentiment needs to be on this list.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
In fact, I will say Please Fix the Road is my I'll say goodbye to one.
Okay.
And I can say goodbye to that one right now. That game has an incredible look to it. It looks like they are little puzzle boxes of putting down these road tiles. Pretty similar to like a game like Railbound. In terms of how it plays, but the way it looks and the vibe it gives off is entirely different. I think Railbound looks nice for sure, has some good sound design to it, but this game, the way it cascades all of its little voxels across the screen is one of the prettiest things I've seen in a video game. It is kind of a one-trick pony at that, but that trick is a hell of a trick. It is
there's so many articles that came out this year based off of just like a few GIFs that came out for that game before a game even came out. People just losing their mind over these transitions, and it's rightfully so. It is,
and I see this all the time on Twitter, where we have developers doing their screenshot Saturdays or whatever, and they show off some incredibly cool pixel art stuff, or hey, here's like some awesome GIF screen transition I'm working on, and all of that looks great. And none of those games ever fucking come out, and this game did, and it had the style that it showed off in those pre-release GIFs. And it looked just as good, if not better, than those GIFs did. I gotta give it up to it. Unfortunately, I just remembered how fucking cool Pentiment is compared to anything else that's on any of these lists. So it has to get the nod. So I feel bad about Please Fix the Road, but Anyway,
I'm gonna take off. Oh, sorry, Johnny. You still gotta give something.
I need to pee.
Oh,
can I come back in 1 minute?
Bobby can do his ode while you pee.
I'm gonna take.
Was Tunic, by the way. That was his last pick. We have our 9.
I'm gonna get rid of The Case of the Golden Idol. I will also say I think this is the best game that neither one. Well, Chase, you haven't played a lot of things this year, but you get what I'm saying here. I think that this is maybe one of the best games that people don't know about, or maybe has flown under the radar. Fans of Obra Dinn will find themselves right at home here with this game, but it's got such a good look to it. I think one of the cool things that they've done from a stylistic choosing is that you've got basically a solving and an exploring mode, and the whole dragging and dropping of words throughout the game is really neat. Like you're building it's almost like an ad lib that you're building out with what happened and you're solving these cases. And there's just a loop happening of like, it could be somebody falling off of a cliff, so you only get the first few frames of them falling. It's like each level looks like an animated GIF that you're interacting with, and I think it's got really cool music to it. The writing in it slick. The Case of the Golden Idol is a very, very good game that you should check out.
I'll tell you this, on Polygon's top 50 games of 2022, The Case of the Golden Idol is their number 3 game of the year.
Dude, that game, it's so good.
I mean, I agree with you that it's under the radar generally, but some people are finding that game and really spreading its praises.
Yep.
And
honestly, I could probably put on my backlog too. Like my biggest backlog one would probably be this.
Like we only did the one stream of it. I think it has an incredibly cool idea behind it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the style might be the weakest part of it. And that's not to put it down. That's to say the rest of the game is it has some really cool ideas to it, and also has a good style. But the game part of that is very cool. So
this is a reminder to play Case of the Golden Idol, Johnny. I've talked about it a few times. It's so good. I'm just going through and marking stuff off for my list here. But Johnny, go ahead with yours.
I'm gonna Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is an incredible game with a lot of style. There's some absolutely insane animations and just crazy anime bullshit that happens that I love a whole lot. It's not my favorite on this list, so I feel okay marking it out. It's a really special game, and I'm not done with it. Maybe approaching the halfway mark, but I feel okay crossing it off here. Same with Need for Speed.
You only get one, Johnny, you piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chase, what's your next one that you're getting rid of?
Oh, no. I thought we only did one. Like we each said Bon Voyage to 1, but we have our 9.
Okay.
So what I'm doing, I'm making a new list at the top here that just has our 9.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to look through this big list to try to figure out our 9 again.
Fair.
So, but I do want to just say, Trek to Yomi, man, that game is only style, because the rest of that,
it's so bad that I didn't even want to give it that, and like that's all it is.
It's fair. I get it.
All
right, I'm getting these posted up here.
Swordship is the newest game I've put on this list, by the way. That game just came out.
What is Swordship? I don't.
We're gonna talk about that. It's from Thunderful, and it's very slick.
They have been publishing. They've been on a hell of a streak of cool published games.
You know what, Chase? I'm not gonna tell you about it. I'm just gonna show it to you.
Okay, they're getting to a Devolver-like output.
I would agree.
This looks cool.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I think Tunic is the last one here.
I think so. I'll cross out the rest of them for us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Our list of finalists for best style are Citizen Sleeper, Cult of the Lamb, Elden Ring, Neon White, Norco, Ollie World, Pentiment, Roller Drome, and Tunic. I think that's a great list,
dude. This is, I'm kind of mad that we only did 9 because
I think there's plenty of other games that could absolutely hang on this list, and yet I think this is a great 9.
If you like, we could have done 10, and that could have been a solid ass top 10 just based off style alone. You know it?
Sure. Yeah.
That could have been that would have been a solid list.
You just push 20 minutes till dawn up there, and then we're like, "Yep, I think we're done. I think we made it." So many very, very pretty and just rad. Again, this is not all graphics. This is a holistic idea, and I think that helps us to narrow some of these down, because if we just went on graphics, these things look so different so cool in different ways that I think it's hard to make a comparison. And I think we have to start going outside the bounds of just cool art style to be able to narrow this down further, because it's just too hard otherwise.
I'm realizing right now that I've maybe made a pretty grave mistake
If you feel like it's a grave enough mistake that you need to rectify it, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
do. I do. I'm asking for some grace here and an oversight on my part.
And what are you adding?
I'm getting rid of Rollerdrome and I'm putting Stray there.
I can get behind that.
I think I prefer the style of Rollerdrome to Stray, but I'm fine with that. I am okay with that change.
I appreciate it if I could make that change.
Yeah, I can make that for you.
Okay.
While we talk.
Now, how do we go about whittling this down?
We each have to pick one to get rid of.
Kill a darling. What do we got?
Yep.
Somebody has
Chase,
to.
you're up
I
first.
think this is time. I'm fixing the list. Somebody else go first.
Johnny, kill a darling.
I mean, I know what my favorite is, so
it's not about what your favorite is. It's about what you can kill. What do you think you can kill? It doesn't have to be one that you picked. You got to kill something.
I could.
Wait, did you? Where's Stray? Wasn't even on the list.
I know. That's why it got skipped over.
It's like, where's Stray?
And you know,
okay.
Hey, you know how I know this? Let me just share this while Johnny's pondering. All my every screen that I have, like literally every screen that I have on every computer is screenshots I took of Stray. And that's a miss on copying over from my list. Anyway, Johnny.
Fuck.
If you're not ready to kill something, I'm ready to kill something.
Great, let's do it.
I feel like Ollie Ollie World and Cult of the Lamb both are going for a similar vibe. And you all know how much I love Ollie Ollie World. I think that game is pure style, and it's a style that like I fucking adore so much that I'm using like my character for all my social profiles. I fucking love it. And that was my screens for the longest time was stuff from Ollie Ollie World. I personally think that it does a better job of what it's made itself to be compared to its earlier games for Ollie Ollie. I like the style of Ollie that we have right now.
Yeah.
But I know Cult of the Lamb does way more stylistically across the board than what Ollie Ollie World does. And I love the music way more on Ollie Ollie World than I do. Like I listen to the Ollie World soundtrack. I got the screenshots. I think the whole vibe is great. Cult of the Lamb is a smarter probably pick there.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you all know, I'm coming into you hat in hand here. I killed Ollie Ollie World, a game that you all know I fucking adore.
I think you're wrong.
I think I'm wrong, but
I think I would go Ollie Ollie World over Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb, don't get me wrong, cool look. It's a cool look. I feel like it was a cool look when Binding of Isaac did it. When it was, hey, here's some darker cultish, occulty imagery in kind of a flash style.
It's so cute.
It is. It absolutely is. I think there's fun stuff. Haha, you made Johnny eat the poop. Oh, sorry. I guess that's a thing we'll talk about later. I think it looks really nice, but I think it looks like things we've seen before. I think Ollie Ollie World has a look to it that feels unique in the space. And even though I got burned out of Ollie Ollie playing the original game, which doesn't look anything like this, I felt a real compulsion to potentially try Ollie Ollie World just from the way it looked and the vibe it gave off and the characters it showed, all that stuff I thought looked really cool. Part of me just wanted to download it to try the character creator because I saw how you played around with it and how it became part of your style. So I kind of want to save you from making a mistake and say, no, you cut Cult of the Lamb and you keep Ollie Ollie World.
Also, I'm going to call it out right now. I think this is the hardest this list has ever been since we've been doing Game of the Year. I think this is one of the most solid fucking list here.
And it's always one of the toughest categories. I agree. I think this might be one of the hardest ones to go with.
God damn, this is such a solid list.
Are we all okay with cutting Cult of the Lamb?
I mean, I think I've played the absolute most of that game. I love that game. I was the most excited about that game. I would be okay comparatively here to what's on the list to get rid of it.
Yeah.
because ultimately, I mean, like, it's not your pick, Johnny, for number one. It's not my pick. It's not Chase's. So,
Tunic is not my favorite. I love the style of Tunic, obviously, because it's an homage to Zelda. That manual in the game is one of the coolest.
I mean, that's
things.
That's like the thing.
Yeah, because the game itself it's Zelda.
Yeah,
but that in-game manual, I want a printed version of that because it is so.
And there are some
cool.
Apparently out there.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find some on Etsy. So I would be okay cutting Tunic.
Whew.
I don't even care about Tunic, and I don't understand what you just said to me.
It's not my favorite.
How is it that I am the one who's trying to advocate the most for your video games? What's happening here?
Well, I haven't had a chance to rebuttal.
Yeah, I feel like you will rebut.
Stylistically, across the board, sonically, the design that they've done with every crack and crevice on like how they all enter, like the entire world, spoilers, like you can literally get to the end spot by taking a left turn that you didn't even know existed until they send you out the back way. Like the artistic stylings of world building in that game is phenomenal. The sound design,
so many hidden spaces. Yeah,
but I cannot tell you
lighting. I think
how
the
much.
lighting is really good. It just like when you're outside in the overworld, it feels warm and it feels like the sun is on you. When you get into the caves, it feels dark and dank, but it has those really vibrant colors still to it of purples and blues. It's again, it's not a game I really care to play, but it's a game I would have as a desktop wallpaper in a second.
The other piece of it, not only is, I think the manual is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in a video game, like, period, like, ever. It's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. But when you go into it, the camera moves through the screen and it creates this effect that makes it feels like you're going through a CRT very briefly. It's such a subtle detail because you zoom in to like learn where you need to go on it. But you can zoom in even further on those pages of this manual, and they've created fibers that look like printing press. There is an overspray and overscan that happens from like mass production that's in place when you go in and like nuance over. Like they've intentionally designed something there that is beyond a shadow of the doubt like one of the coolest things. But the style of that game, to Chase's point, you go into that lush forest, you go down into the caverns of that, and they've got that entire, like, there's so many biomes that are built into this microcosm that is just fucking wild. And the character designs are great too, I think. But
it's not my number one, but it is absolutely my number two, which is why I don't feel like I could cut it at this point. I would fight to keep Tunic on.
I would cut Ollie Ollie World before I would cut Tunic.
I would be more comfortable cutting Ollie Ollie World at this point instead of Tunic.
Yeah, I would cut Ollie Ollie World for sure over that.
And I feel bad after I just said some nice things about Ollie Ollie World.
No, but we need to do it.
It ain't no Tunic. Here, it's my turn to cut some stuff, and you know what? I'm gonna do a double for you. I'm gonna cut Citizen Sleeper and I'm gonna cut Neon White, and I'll tell you why. Citizen Sleeper, I think, has some of the best looking art in it. Specifically the talking heads from the artists who I cannot remember. I follow them on Tumblr. They do some incredible art. I have one of their like zines that they made.
Oh, cool.
Incredible stuff. I absolutely love that art style. I think it's just some of the best art. The rest of the game, I don't think lives up to that. The space station, the polygonal space station itself, I don't think looks very good. The iconography and the UI stuff looks serviceably cyberpunky, but it's kind of whatever. That game lives and dies style-wise on its sound design and its art for those talking heads. And while they are phenomenal, I don't think it is able to keep up with other games that give a fuller, better package overall.
And I agree. It's got some.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it does a really amazing job at conveying emotion and style in that sense too. Like when things go south based off of music and tones, and like that game does a good job with it. I like the I can't think of the world in it right now, but where you're fighting like the machines that you like
like when you go hack into like the cyberspace.
Yeah, there's some really cool. There's some cool stuff there, but I would even say like In Other Waters, I think is the name of the game that he did before that. I think is even a better stylistic package altogether, in my opinion. But
and then for Neon White, I think it's almost kind of the opposite. I think the world design is gorgeous. The very minimal like Mirror's Edge style looking. We made this minimal parkoury looking place, and all of that looks so serene and cool. I mean, it's literally heaven. And it looks amazing. I think the talking head stuff, it's kind of whatever. I don't really love all the mask design stuff. I love that you got Spike Spiegel in there. Like you got the voice of Spike Spiegel. I think most of the rest of the voice acting, I think Neon Red has a good voice actor, but I think most of the rest of the voice acting grated on me a little bit.
It did.
I think it's got some cool stuff to it, but it never lives up to the highs of just being in that world and going at that speed.
Being in motion.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of its style is how fast it is and doing that parkour stuff. And
how do I shave off a couple more seconds of this run?
Agreed.
And then when you stop and you have to talk to the characters, like I don't care about this very much. Just let me get back out there and figure out the best way to clear this level.
It's very slick. But I just don't think it's a full enough package compared to some of these other ones that I would have it win this category. So I'm cutting it too. Which leaves us with Elden Ring, Norco, Pentiment, Stray, and Tunic.
I'm gonna take Norco off here.
Okay.
I think it. I'm gonna say this because I mean I'll have plenty of time to talk about this game this year, but I do feel they do a lot to make you feel like you go somewhere in a game that is a text-based adventure. And for a game that represents, I mean, its title is Norco, which is a real spot in Louisiana. I've read some interviews post playing the game about like the decisions there and what they've done from like how they write the dialect that you're getting from a stylistic standpoint, how they want people to sound, I think the mind map in that game is one of the coolest ways to keep track of like what's up next, what's going on, what you learn about people. I think that was done really well. The choices,
it's pixel art, but it's not pixel art in a way that I think you could deem derogatory. It is its own style that just happens to also be pixel art.
It stands on its own in that regard. Definitely.
What's the guy's name that did Alien and like all the Tool video style? You know what I'm talking about? Like we talked about it with Scorn, the art style.
H.R. Geiger.
H.R. Geiger?
Like there's some elements that like reminiscent, like it reminds, like it goes into like early renditions of like Religious Encounters to like Geiger shit, all through pixel art, and there's some really cool stuff they do with that. The way that you get to do discovery games on the inside of it, the way that you do some of the fighting in that game, the artistic stylings of the fights are really cool. Norco's a fantastic game, but I'll talk more about that in other places.
Okay.
Can I talk to you guys about Elden Ring?
Are you going to cut Elden Ring once you're done with it?
No.
Fine, go ahead.
Well, hang on. Why don't we cut one more game before we do that? Because that would give us 3 games to really get down
here's the deal. You're not cutting Pentiment and you're not cutting Tunic. And I stand firm on that.
You can cut Tunic.
Can't cut Tunic.
I'm not going to cut Tunic. Fuck, man, this is really hard.
I know, because the only other choice to cut is Stray, and I know you love Stray.
I love Stray. Actually, Tunic is cooler than Stray.
It is. Stray is one of the coolest worlds I've been in a video game in some time. And it was
the
such
perspective
from which you
experience it makes it all the more unique.
And the other thing I have to say about this is like you're playing as a cat. Obviously, you can't talk, and there's parts of that game where like you don't talk to anybody. But you know everything that's being said. And I think that is by default like one of the coolest ways that we can talk about style is it's a very understood thing across.
You're a passive observer in a lot of ways, but you're still fucking with them.
Yeah. It's some of my absolute favorite video game music ever made. I think it is one of the best. I listen to the soundtrack all the time while I'm at work. It's phenomenal. The robot, like, and this is a very personal thing for me. Like, this is a very personal, it's like my style. Like, I love old shitty cyberpunk looking, distraught environments. Very
new old tech.
Down. Yeah, I love it. And just like the details on the people that the robots you'll be talking to, like how they could have made a very generic, like this is a manufactured robot, but it was like robots cosplaying as people, and how they chose to show themselves emotionally speaking, and how they had a style. It's just unlike a lot of things I've seen.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool world that they created for that game.
And Absolutely. This is like one of the harder things I've had to say goodbye to on this show. Like this category is so fucking brutal, but it's like, I can't be mad. I really like, I'm okay. Like every time we cut something, I'm like, God damn it. But oh shit. Like these are the best looking games I think that we've ever talked about on this show. I feel very strongly on that. Like as a whole,
it's the fourth best style of the year.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's, you know what?
That's an amazing feat.
That's an amazing feat.
In a year like this, that's an amazing feat.
Okay. So
we're down to 3. We got it down to 3.
I don't think I can convince you to let Elden Ring win this.
You cannot, but I would love to hear you try.
But the last time I remember feeling the way I felt, having things in the world revealed to me, and like looking out and seeing like this floating castle sitting above this ruined town, or taking this elevator down and down and down, and you get down there and the sky is full of stars, and fighting a boss, and there's these violins that kick in, and the whole boss room is filled with stars, and it's this old like skeleton of a deer, and like there's just so many moments, or riding my horse through and hearing this big bell, and I walk through and it's this 4-legged stone mausoleum that's just walking through this valley. It's some of the, like, I love fantasy, and it's some of the coolest, most like awe-inspiring. Like I said, wow, multiple times throughout my playthrough of like the different areas I would go to. This one area is basically, it's a floating city in the eye of a storm, and when you look out, it's just debris just spinning around you, and it's incredible. It's such a testament to world design, and just the artistic direction is incredible. It's like, you guys, like, this is one of my favorite games I've ever played, like ever. Mm-hmm. Like it's up there with Green and Breath of the Wild, and
people I've like a lot of people outside of even you, like I've heard multiple outlets say that this is the best open world like that they've ever experienced.
Yeah,
and I remember for weeks, for absolute weeks, this is no exaggeration, folks. My cousin and Johnny and I have a group chat, and when this game came out, thank God I liked it to the degree I did, because they wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. And I promise you, there was weeks where they were talking about this underground world and the elevator, and like they were going out of their way. Like, these guys never asked me to play shit. I have to ask them all the time. They're like, Bobby, can you please play Elden Ring with us? Can you, like, they wanted to show me this part of the map so bad. And I was very impressed when I went down there. It is a spectacle. It's a really wild, fucked up thing. Here's where I get...
Nobody asked me to play Elden Ring, and I am spiting the game because of it.
Here's the thing, Johnny.
You guys didn't want me a part of it, I get it.
I have a hard time with the style, because I think some of these things that they put you up against are some of the most foul, heinous, disgusting.
It's all about that, baby.
Ingrown
Yeah, I mean,
fucking
this is, to be fair, it's
toenail
not prettiest style. It's
no,
best.
But it is pretty. It's like
no, it's
breathtaking, but then
not.
it's also like eldritch horrors that you're
Yeah,
facing.
that's the thing, dude.
And
Like
it's great. I
get
love it. I
so
love it
grossed
so
out.
much.
It's like you see those videos of people who like are trying to eat the really like bad canned fish, and they're like their body won't let them do it. It's like, oh yeah, I could do this.
There's body horror.
Yeah,
but,
dude.
Oh my god, it's just this ruined world that you can see like it used to be. I love it so much.
Listen,
but anyway, Tunic wins.
That's also not true. Listen, this is definitely coming out of my ignorance, and it's going to sound dismissive, and just know that it's only dismissive because I don't know. But the things that I have seen from Elden Ring feel like if you told me that was Dark Souls 4, I'd go, yeah, okay, sure. I mean, I have not seen the star caves and the things that you have seen. The things that I have seen look like the stuff From Software makes. And it's I mean, it's beautiful. It's the same kind of beautiful though that from what I see when I look at Bloodborne and when I look at the Dark Souls trilogy. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
not Bloodborne. Bloodborne is like gothic,
I
like
understand.
18th century. It's
I understand,
completely
but
different.
it still has the eldritch things to it. I think I feel like Sekiro had a very distinct style, and from the other ones being that it's more Japanese
it's dark
stuff,
fantasy. So yeah, there's gonna be some similarities between the two of them. But
yeah,
this is the first time they've designed an open world like this, and to have everything flow together the way it does, and it's the most interesting open world I've ever explored.
I believe you, but there is still part of me that goes, this is a thing that I feel like I've seen before, maybe in a different context, but when we're talking about a style, I think you get bonus points for being something that is completely unique.
It is completely unique. It's not Dark Souls. It's Elden Ring.
It's not Pentiment unique. Pentiment
is cool. Tunic is better.
Pentiment is going for a whole different thing. From the way it looks, the way it has that old, you want fantasy, like that is some old English ass looking.
Yeah, it's great. You zoom out and it shows what you're talking about on the page underneath.
Amazing art direction there.
Yeah.
And then you add in the way the writing system works, and the way different classes of people have different fonts, different typefaces that they use as they write in with their speech bubbles, and the just the system of them making mistakes in their script. Algorithmically, randomly, how those mistakes happen and how they fix them, how they edit their own mistakes. I think that is just the coolest idea that I've seen for a while. And from a style perspective, I think it's going for something completely unique and different and cool than either of these other games. I think Tunic looks great. I think we've seen games that have gone for a minimal art style that has really cool lighting effects and colors. And that's not taking anything away from Tunic. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And musically, definitely way better than Pentiment, because Pentiment doesn't really have much music to its credit. Pentiment is like on a whole different level, and despite not having music to it, I think it is the coolest thing I have seen and experienced this year. And even though I've only really experienced 3 hours myself, everything I've seen of that game looks breathtakingly unique and interesting and cool. Bobby, where are you coming down on this?
I've got the most time by a very long margin with Tunic. I mean, it's the only game that I can recall getting a completion on. Like, I got every achievement in that game. I spent countless nights just obsessing over it. I
feel like if we all had our druthers here, if we did like a silent ballot I assume that I'm Pentiment, Johnny would be Elden Ring, and Bobby would be Tunic. Yes?
Yeah.
Like if we were actually picking our number ones, and I feel like Johnny is picking Tunic because you're waiting. And I'm not saying you're gaming the system, but like you're understanding that we're not going to allow Elden Ring to win. So if you're waiting it, if we're doing like a weighted system, you're putting Tunic up there. And I understand that.
The thing for me here,
Pentiment is very cool.
Yeah, I'm also trying to think like
2 hours I played.
I know where Elden Ring ends up somewhere in this show. I know where Tunic ends up somewhere in this show. I don't really know where Pentiment ends up somewhere in this show. And
I mean, hey,
I think it's incredible that Pentiment even exists.
I don't want Bobby. I hear what you're saying, but I don't want you to give a consolation award to Pentiment just because you know that other games are going to get their flowers elsewhere. If you truly think that Tunic is a better style than Pentiment, we should go Tunic. But I'm here saying I think, regardless of how any other awards go, that Pentiment deserves this award. That is my feeling.
I can tell you that the thing that would keep me right now, and like you all know I like Pentiment. I've been cramming a lot, sleepy, and it's a slow game. And there's not
really is.
I mean, it's a very slow game that you have to read, and there's no audio or music. I'm not saying I want AAA Michael Bay explosions here, but I don't doubt that game is a looker. It's a fantastic looking piece, and I think the whole package with it of the interactivity, the fucking finger pointing at stuff on there. Like I like how they've indexed stuff. I think that's great. I struggle because like even though Elden Ring and FromSoft in the past has not been something I've been excited for, I do think that the design choices they made with that game are some of the absolute best that they've ever made. I mean, I bought that game. I own a From Software game. I own Elden Ring. I think that is that doesn't mean much to a lot of folks if you don't know us, but if you only knew the weight that carried personally for me of me owning a FromSoft game.
I considered buying Elden Ring in secret and playing it just so I could come onto this show and go, yeah, Elden Ring's pretty great. Let's make it our number one game of the year. Right. I didn't end up doing that. But the fact that I even considered it, I think, is a huge point in Elden Ring's favor as a game. Not as a style, though.
Here's the other thing from I think from a style standpoint, like there are two games that you and I'm talking to you, Chase, are talking about right now.
Yep.
Are both trying to make you think of a other medium or another time. So yours is a book, paper, etc. Mine happens to be the era that like the cartridge-based era of games where there's notes written into this, where it feels like you're playing on. It's
you close your eyes and you imagine what NES Zelda looks like to your child brain, and you open your eyes and it's Tunic.
Yep. And again, if you don't know me on this show, The Legend of Zelda is my absolute favorite series of all time. So like, there's weight there for this.
I think they know.
They know. They know.
It says Hyrule in your top right corner, Bobby. Yeah. We know.
So I just want to say that like there is bias here, and that's what this show is about. This is our bias, and I think Pentiment's very well done. When I think about the way that they not only design a style of a game, but the way that they make you play said game. And I haven't gotten far enough in Pentiment to really stand by this. It could be the same thing, but there was a period when I played through this game where there was not any walkthroughs online for Tunic. And the game was designed in a way that like you had to like take notes and play it in a certain way. And the stylistic choosings of like, there was things that they highlighted, as I mentioned, in the manual that helped you understand what you were doing. Yeah, there's been really cool voxel, pretty textures and shit out there for it. But I think when you look at what they're using this story to tell visually, it's way up there. And Pentiment, I'm saying I could have said Pentiment before Tunic here and had the almost same conversation with like making you feel like you're cracking open a book and that somebody's telling that story to you, and it combines like an audiobook. It's like an audiobook for your brain in a lot of ways. I just
pick one, Bobby. I agree
I'm picking
with everything
Tunic.
you're saying.
I'm picking Tunic.
All right, Tunic wins. This is wrong, but I respect the process. It's the second best game.
Johnny, I'm sorry. I know that.
But I get it.
You know, look, we could have arranged that anyway. Like, I wouldn't have felt bad if Pentiment won.
But I mean, like,
there's 3 strong contenders.
What I mean, like, seriously, like, that is a hell of a list of games right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I meant what I said. Like, that could almost be our top 10, and I would not be upset.
Man, I feel like if I had maybe played more Pentiment, maybe
that's the thing.
But
yeah,
again, I only played 3 hours as Pentiment, and I feel this strongly about it. But yeah, that's fine. Hey, I know it's late, but
you want to knock it out.
I want to knock it out because I feel like this was supposed to be more of a let's take a breath because we just did this.
It'll be
big,
quick
long one. This one should be quick.
Yep.
Relatively quick. I think there's going to be some people doing some image searches on some of these, so we know what the hell these guys are. But let's talk about best new little guy. And to tell you what this category exactly is, we have our best new character, but then we think about like a Pokemon or things that are like Pokemon, and those aren't really characters. Pikachu from the anime is a character. Pikachu as a concept is not. Like that's just a fun little guy. That's a little creature. So non-character creatures in whatever game you want. And we've got some nominees here, and we're going to talk about what we think is the best one. Best can mean anything here. Whether they play the best or they look the best. It's probably going to be more about how they look. But let's talk about it. We have from Koromon, Megalobite and Pergast. From Cult of the Lamb, the Lamb. From Norco, Monkey. From Ooblets, Gloopy Longlegs and Jama.
I say Jamma.
Jamma? Okay. From Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we have Annihilape, Armor Rouge, sorry, not Armor Rogue. Armor Rouge, Iron Moth, Iron Thorns, Cloth, Lechonk, and Quaxley. From Temtem, Anatan. Is that right, Bobby?
I say Anatan, but that's just probably the wrong way. Yeah.
Okay. Anatan and Golzy. And from Tinykin, the green Tinykin, the ones that form a ladder. I got to look up a couple of these.
So let me tell you about Megalobite. Megalobite is there was that 90s cartoon, not Biker Mice from Mars, but the shark one. Street Sharks. Yeah.
I love Street Sharks. I have a box filled with Street Sharks.
Yep.
I love the Hammerhead one.
Yep.
And I love the one on roller skates. Those are the Street Sharks fucking rule.
I had
Holy
Street
shit,
Shark.
this guy's a Street Shark.
He's a Street Shark. He even has a pierced dorsal fin because why not? This is the final evolution of the water type starter from Koromon.
Well, I know what I'm starting with in Koromon.
He's fucking a fucking brick shit house. This thing can bite, chomp, he's like a dark water if we're going Pokemon language because he's like a dark water type. He rules, dude. I have ruined so many people's day with this guy. He's fantastic. Pergast is the final evolution of a ghost cat, but
he looks kind of cool.
It's just a cat wearing a bed sheet. It's really fun. I like it a whole lot.
It's like a cat in a cloak.
Yep.
It looks like he's wearing a Snuggie, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a monk ghost. So I would say out of those two, I would keep Megalobite on here, but I would give it a Pergast.
100%.
Yeah, I'll mark him off.
Okay. I'm looking up Gloopy Longlegs. So another part of this, 2 years ago, it's a long time ago, 2020 Game of the Year, we did this kind of category before. We did like what's the best non-Pokemon thing, because we had early access builds of Ooblets and Temtem, and so we had some people on that list, like Turnkey, something like that.
Turnkey, Pantsabear.
Yeah, we had some of these from Ooblets and Temtem. So I told you guys that they would have to be eligible for this list in 2022. We couldn't have them on the list from 2020. I don't know if that necessarily means that these are brand new monsters that they added in 2022, or if they're just ones that didn't make the list in 2020 and are here now. It's fine either way. I'm not going to look too deeply into it, but just know that if you're a big Turnkey fan or something, we talked about it. I think it won 2 years ago. So talk to those people, not us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Gloopy long legs. Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I see it.
And Gloopy long legs has a really good dance where it kind of like stanky legs. It's really good.
Sure. I could see that.
And then Jama. It's like a really adorable looking hoodie monster kind of creature.
Oh yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, both very good.
That has okay. Looking at it, it's JAMA because that has to be short for
pajamas.
like pajama, right?
Yeah,
that's
JAMA.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, with you there. And then I have to look up Anatan.
Anatan is I didn't think that so this was not in the game for a long time.
Oh,
they added
one of these.
That it evolves into that.
You gave me one of these?
Yeah, I don't think you have the evolved version of it yet. I don't think.
Probably not.
It's really cool. It's just got like it's a fire crystal type, and it gets these big tusks. But the one that I would like really feel strongly about is Golzy. Golzy's an electric fighter, and it looks like Crash Bandicoot meets Macho Man meets Rey Mysterio.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's really fucking cool. It's got awesome energy for sure.
I gotta say, I hate its middle evolution.
Yeah.
What is it? Sparzy.
Yeah,
I think
Sparzy's not good.
Sucks, but then Golzy brings it back.
Yeah,
I get it. All right. Anybody else need to look up any other ones of these, or are we good to go?
I've been looking them up on my own.
Okay.
So,
we should probably narrow the Pokemon down. What's the
I'll
Pokemon
let you go in there and do it. I really like Iron Thorns, but I'm a sucker for Tyranitar. That's like one of my favorite Pokemon. So that's but that's this is my shit. He doesn't look different enough from Tyranitar for me to be like, oh, okay.
Kinda. I mean, I would say similar thing about Iron Moth, and I don't even like what's his name? It's not Quilava, but it's whatever that fucking Volcarona.
Yeah.
I don't even really like Volcarona. I think this is a cool take on Volcarona for the Iron one. But also I feel like both of those are kind of cheating, to your point. So I kind of think it's fine to cut both of those, honestly. I mean, Lechonk came out and we're like, look at this fucking pig.
I know.
I think it looks cute on its own, but the name Lechonk, I think, is doing most of the heavy lifting on that.
Yeah.
And its evolution, I think, is very disappointing in comparison.
It's an emo pig.
Oh, that's disappointing to see.
Yeah. It's a real shame. I think honestly, having the bad evolution disqualifies it here, which I don't think I can say for Quaxley, because even though the evolutions are disappointing, Quaxley's too fucking good.
I saw the pirate render
and I see potential.
Yeah, well, it does not.
It doesn't live up to that potential, but I look at it and I go, we talked about it. This thing is the fucking greaser.
Yeah,
oh man, it is kind of wasted, but
then it turns into Liberace.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. It's
nothing against Liberace.
I think it's the worst evolution that they've ever had.
Quaxley looks so good. I almost picked Quaxley, even though I kept saying I was day one Fuecoco, just because I think Quaxley looks fucking rad.
You chose the right way.
I did choose correctly based on final evolution, yes, but
I would say that Annihilape is cooler than Quaxley.
I guess so. Here's the thing: I love Primeape. One of my favorite Pokemon that I never feel like I can use because it's always been such shit. Yeah, it's a bad fighting type, and fighting type in general has been pretty bad for most of Pokemon's life. And for it to get an evolution, pretty cool. A cool evolution, pretty cool, and a competitively cool evolution is holy shit. Like, this thing is ghost and fighting. It's ghost because it killed itself with rage. It got so angry that it killed itself, and now it's a ghost. That is the backstory for Annihilape. It's got a cool signature move that the more it gets damaged, the more the attack does. Being ghost means it just fucks right over psychic types now. So like its big weakness is now something it can take on pretty nicely. I think it's really, really cool. It's up there for sure. Cloth I like. It's a big crab. We've had big crabs in Pokemon before. I just like this big crab. I think I can cut it, one, because it doesn't have an evolution, which is a little disappointing. And two, I like the Titan cloth. I like the big cloth.
Oh yeah, he's really cool.
When you actually catch one, it's kind of small and it feels disappointing considering how awesome big cloth looks. So that bummed me out. Armarouge and Ceruledge. We only have Armarouge on this one. I think Ceruledge also looks really cool. But if I had to pick one of those two, I liked Armarouge a little bit better. I like the big armor on it. I like it. It's got its own signature move where it breaks the armor off and puts it into a big Mega Man Mega Buster gun and shoots it at you. It's Fire Psychic, which is a pretty sweet typing.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably still go Annihilate over Armarouge. Do you guys have an
No,
opinion?
I think Annihilate is awesome for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the way that Annihilate looks. And hearing that it's actually a viable, because I love Primate, but for the same reasons, I've never really kept one in my party.
I'm fine if we get rid of Monkey from Norco.
Monkey's pretty good.
Monkey's pretty good.
Monkey.
Monkey's so good. It's not, I mean, it is your buddy for a while, and there's a really cool backstory there, and it has an awesome staring contest we'll talk later about. But I think in the spirit of what we've been covering here, it maybe doesn't match one for one, but still fun.
Yeah, I think it's a little less than the other ones in terms of the category. I'll give you that.
Cold of the Lamb, I put that one on there, but you are the lamb, so it's not really a little guy with you. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess he's more of a character, but he's still I don't know.
I think it's a she, by the way. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you think she would have had a chance in the best new character category if we classified her as a character?
No.
Okay. I don't think she hangs on this list either then.
Yep. She can go. So that leaves us with an Ooblet, a Coromon, a Temtem, and a Tinykin, and a Pokemon.
And a Pokemon, yeah. We can cut the green Tinykin. They all kind of look similar. They all kind of have that Pikmin-y look to them.
Yeah.
The green ones are functionally the best. In like that latter is the best thing they can give you by far. But it's cool. I love Tinykin, but I don't think it's one of the coolest little guys.
And I think we can get rid of Golzy. I think that Megalobite for me is cooler than Golzy. Golzy's awesome. It's one of my favorite Tim, but yeah.
I think this is the right final three. I'll tell you that. Annihilate, Loopy Longlegs, and Megalobite.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Megalobite's a street shark.
Yeah, that's true.
He is a street shark.
And the thing of it is, he's just as good as he looks. He fucking rips things up. He's so good.
I think this is really down to Annihilate and Megalobite, right? Like Loopy Longlegs, it's like a little brain with legs, which
it's like great. Like a hip jellyfish.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very cool. I guess I'm just surprised that I like something this much that's not a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think that for me is like a hard thing to always get right.
And here's my
go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, here's my thought. I love Annihilate. I like a lot of the new Pokemon designs.
Mm-hmm.
Do I like any of them more than I like Toxtricity from the last generation? Absolutely not. Toxtricity.
And honestly, dude, that's why I pass on Golzy, because Golzy's going for the same ship. It's not as cool as Toxtricity.
Yeah. Toxtricity won when we did this thing for Pokemon. So I'm fine with Megalobite here. I think that makes sense. That thing looks rad, and it makes me want to play Coromon more.
God, I really want to hear what your thoughts are on playing that.
It was so close to beating out Immortality for that backlog game of 2022. Yeah. It's right up there, and I'll let you in on a little secret. It's got a real chance to be something I play in 2023, not just because I want to, but because I might have to. Let's see. That's it, guys. That's day one. It's in the bag. Should we quickly go over the categories and winners here?
Yeah, let's hear them. So starting from the top, for our best chase game on the go, we are going to go with Vampire Survivors. Congratulations to you. Best new character is Brett LeBlanc from Norco. And we go on to our favorite casual clip. Oh my gosh, which is Take It Up With My Banana. Best additional content this year goes to Into the Breach Advanced Edition. We have righted our wrongs and our sins have been forgiven. Better Together, sponsored by Johnny and Jude, goes to Fortnite, specifically Fortnite Chapter 3, No Build Mode. And the best looking, most graphics game of the year was Horizon Forbidden West, followed up by Tunic winning Best Style. And we go down to our newest category for our bestest and newest little guy, who's not so little, Megalobite.
It's not much of a guy either.
No. We got through day one. It's late. We thank you all for tuning in. This week, if you're watching this live, we're going to have another category episode on Wednesday the 15th. No, 14th. Sorry, it's late. And then Friday, we'll come back together with our top 10 games of the year. So
our personal lists and then our combined list that we'll figure out on the stream itself.
If you are into what we're doing, you can follow along on youtube.com where we post quick looks as well as our video on demands. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're live on Twitch. We post our podcast every Friday morning wherever you listen to podcasts. Chase, do you want to plug yourself real quick?
No, I do not. I want to go to bed.
All right. Tune back in on Wednesday. We will follow up our categories. Take care, everybody.
Bye.